Yeah.
I personally would have liked them to have, at the very least, all of the skills available right from the get-go.
I actually
It's
did
gonna be
take
a situation where there's a lot of the skills that you can't even start working on until later on in the early access because they're not even available yet.
I'm not too sure about that. Like, I mean, I definitely would, like, if I could have preferred it, I would have loved the game to be obviously 100% complete before release. But in the day and age we're out in now, like, every game that's coming out is a beta or early access. Mainly the early access is becoming the big thing now, to where a game gets released, it's not fully complete, and then they work through it. Like I said, it's kind of like the average thing that happens now with most games, and I've kind of just grown to accept that. And I know the price is going to be brought up more. I'm pretty sure it's going to be below 40 that they said still, even when it's complete. But to get it cheaper and then play through all the way through to a game that I personally enjoy and want to actually see the experience through, and especially since this is something I'm trying to center my YouTube channel around, I actually get to go through all of that development. You know, it gives me more content to work through, gives me more time to get used to the game, and then change as the updates come through with the game. Although, like I said, if it all came out at once, that would be great too.
Oh no, I'm not talking like doing an all-at-once normal release versus EA. What I'm talking about is just having the skills available, even though they're working on them, just having them available to be like
I see what you mean.
in the game right from day one.
I think what Chaotic is trying to say is that it would be awesome to have the skills in, and then they could have down prioritized something else. Am I getting it right?
Yeah, just
so kind of like the basic of it.
Yeah, the basics.
Yeah, and then work from there and improve it from there. I get what you mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, I believe that would be good. So I sent to you guys, if you can see in the Discord, this is actually a list of the skills that you can see with it pulled down. If you'd ever looked at the video and then actually watch it, they pulled down. I just took a snapshot of it. So you can see that there's driving, motorcycling, piloting, sailing, climbing, picklocking, and picking pockets. There's going to be programming and electronics, biochem, education, and psychology, and then demolitions. Like, those are all blacked out that I assume aren't going to be in the early access.
Yeah,
at least before the EA phase.
Yeah, those are the ones they plan to introduce during EA.
One thing that I thought was pretty interesting about the programming and electronics one is, you guys all know about the robot, right?
Yes.
Mr. Smiles.
Yeah.
And then the drones. I've actually seen comments from the devs, specifically Bunny, saying that you're going to be able to use the programming to actually hack into the drones. And eventually be able to hack into the BCU, or otherwise known as puppets.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what they do with the hacking aspect, what they allow you to do with the different things you can hack. Like, I think you can hack a drone and survey the entire area to see where your other scum prisoners are on the island. Might be that bit OP.
Well, I'm also hoping that with that, because you know that the puppets obviously are controlled by the Tech One producers. I'm hoping, and I strongly believe, that the programming skill is going to be directly linked to escaping the island. Because you're probably going to come across like something that you're going to have to hack a terminal or something to like open a gate or something, or underground tunnel where that's where you're going to have to use to escape. I feel like the programming skill and electronic skills might be an important part to the main story, but that could just be me coming up with my own like fantasy idea of how you're going to escape the island.
Either way, that'd be interesting if they implemented that.
It's probably going to be something like that, of course, but personally, when it comes to programming skills and stuff like that, I would love to see that you can actually hack the BCU itself, the one that's on your own head, and somehow configure it, unlock certain features through the programming skill and stuff like that.
I actually have something on that topic of what you're saying. This has been confirmed that you will eventually be able to remove the BCU from yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm going to assume it's from the programming or electronics, like you said.
Yeah, but you're talking about removing it. You'll surely have to remove it in order to escape the island itself. What I am talking about for us that do not want to escape, for us that want to just enjoy the survival aspect of the game. So we do not want to lose our character because we spent a shit ton of hours on it. We do not want to reach the escaping endgame. rather turn the end game into surviving.
Yeah.
I was hoping that somehow you can hack the BCU and modify it. So I don't know, that it gives you some kind of an advantage, additional user interface, additional information, or stuff like that, you know.
Okay, maybe along the lines of that, like a prestige.
So making some modifications to the actual output of the BCU.
Yeah, so you can upgrade it in some way to get an advantage over people that haven't upgraded it, basically.
Or give yourself like ultimate stealth and make it so that the drones and whatnot can't actually track you.
That's actually going to be a planned feature.
Is it?
That's actually a planned feature. They actually plan to implement later on in a future development or update release to where you can actually get it to where your stealth can be high enough to where the drones won't be able to see you.
That's awesome.
That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
That's going to be tied to stealth then.
Yeah. I definitely believe it's tied to stealth.
One of our viewers just said they also said that they could that you can shoot down the drones and stuff. So.
Oh, that's actually interesting.
I'm guessing it's a he since it's Stuart.
One of the devs mentioned that the other day.
Yeah, on the development stream yesterday. Also, just while I have the word, I just want to say to those of you watching at home or wherever you are, just leave your thoughts, questions, or whatever in the chat sections, and we'll try to get all sorts of questions you might have if you have any.
Indeed.
Yeah, perfectly.
I'll also try to follow up on Reddit and such. So yeah, that's why I'm looking away all the time. They want more debate going on.
They want more debate?
Yeah.
Okay, how about with the fact that you'll be able to eventually sneak up on puppets or players, and actually if you do it undetected, you'll be able to stealth kill them. It's a planned feature that will be coming out in the future. Yep. It's something that dev has
just stealth extra damage.
Nope, it's going to be a stealth kill. It's something they have in the future plans.
That's going to be pretty cool.
Well, it's gonna make you have to watch your back constantly.
Yeah,
that is very true.
I'm not so sure I'm a fan of the whole one-hit thing.
Well, it's a survival game. It's a survival game. You need to be aware of your surroundings, basically.
Well, absolutely.
So it kind of makes sense.
And if you think of it in real life, there are many different ways that you can die very quickly, almost immediately, as well.
Yeah,
and also you yourself said that you were in the army, and it's baffling how you can sneak up on some people. So why not hit kills?
But I didn't mean I'm against the one-hit wonder as a whole, because I'm very fond of like, okay, you hit the head, you should go down, right?
But they already have a mechanism planned to be able to counteract the stealth kill. The trap aspect. If you can set traps around you, that'll completely render a lot of the stealth kills pretty much mute.
And not only that, I have to point out that once you get to a certain distance of somebody, like you actually have to stealth up to them. Like even if they can't see you and they're not directly looking at you, they might be able to hear you. And to as people have seen, to sneak up behind someone in real life without them hearing you at all or seeing you, even with the invisibility feature because of the camouflage, like I said, the awareness of the person is going to vary. So they may or may not be able to see you instantly. So by getting behind them and then being able to successfully stealth kill them, it seems like it's not going to be too easy of a feat that anybody can just do it. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not constantly just looking off in one direction and not looking anywhere else. Like I constantly look around all the time.
I think we also have to take in account that the attacker's distance from the target is also going to play a large role in the game.
Yeah.
So
I'm assuming with this, you're going to have to actually be like right behind them to do whatever the stealth kills thing is. I'm going to assume it's going to be like slitting the throat or something.
Yeah, within melee distance.
Which, to me, I think that's going to be hard. But I do get what you say, Kag, when you say that one-hit kills are kind of annoying. Because to me, if, say, I'm working and I have like 50, 100 hours into a character, and then some guy just sneaks up and kills me, I'm going to be pissed. Like, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, they just went at me, and I'm like, I have full gear or whatever, and I just lost all that. But then at the same time, I can argue and sit there and be like, well, I wasn't really paying attention. It is a survival game. It is PvP with PvE. And I just wasn't looking at my surroundings or anything.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, they've also mentioned that you'll be able to climb trees later on in the game as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You gotta pay attention up in the sky too.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy.
Death from above, Assassin's Creed style.
Yeah,
exactly.
Can you just imagine you're walking there, minding your business? It's no one around for miles to see, and then all of a sudden someone jumps on you
just drops down.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I need a battle cry because I'm gonna do that. I'm just land on them. They have to add that. If they're doing stealth kills, I need a death from above.
There's some questions about the third-person / free look aspect again. Can we just drop quickly back on that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
What specifically did you want to talk about with that?
I'll read out some comments. Levy Fubar and Stuart, as well as Silver the Tuggles, is commenting on a lot of multiplayer games seem to lack real stealth combat. Stealth melee should definitely get a pretty big bonus. That was to the last one. As long as you don't have freedom when in third-person view, third person. I'm guessing that is referring to the whole aspect of what do you call it again? When you can't see people unless you have eye contact.
Oh, it's awareness. It's awareness.
Yeah.
It's awareness.
Skill.
The
What's the question?
You guys just continue. This was feedback to my stream.
I'll try to go back to that and kind of build off. I guess in terms of third person and first person, I'm going to try to cover because I don't really know what the question is here. But if in first person and third person, your awareness skill works in both of them. So, for instance, I'm assuming everybody here has seen the video to where if you're in third person, you can't just see over walls or see past walls if your character doesn't actually see what's out there. Like your character's eyes have to see what is out that window or over that ledge for you to be able to recognize a player outside. Like you can't just go up to a wall and then in PUBG or something, you can actually see outside and see people moving. In this, you can't. Your character has to actually peek out, stick their head out, or stand up to see before they can remember that somebody is there. And the moment you go back down, since they removed the feature of the mist when they go behind buildings or something like that, you now have to remember where they are.
What did you guys think
in real life?
What did you guys think of the mist, though? Pro or con?
Both. I think it's both.
Really?
Yeah,
personally, I think it's quite a bit.
I think it's a pro because it would help you out. Because anything that helps you out would be a pro, I guess. But I think it's a con because, like I said, I'm a real hardcore player and I like realism. But they did remove it. It's completely gone. It's not going to be a feature of the game anymore.
Yeah, but sure. Like, if you guys would have wanted it there, we should. That's a debate topic. I personally, I think that was one of the worst things I saw in the game when I saw gameplay of the game. I was like,
"Oh, are you talking the wall hack thing?"
Come on!
Yes.
It was like you've done so much for the realism and the detail and the depth, and then you go ahead and you throw something like this in. Like this isn't magic. This is supposed to be the real deal.
And then the max amount of time that you could have for awareness being at the top for seeing the wall hack was I believe it was 2 to 4 seconds of seeing them go through a building. It's okay, it's I get what they were going for, but at the same time, if I see somebody enter a building and then there's walls all the way up, there's no windows or anything, I'm gonna be okay, well, I guess they could have gone upstairs, or I guess they could have went here, but I'm not gonna know exactly. Okay, they went upstairs, they took a turn, they went up here. I'm not gonna know to that degree where they went.
But yeah, no, I think it's a good idea that they got rid of the wall hack because
I definitely agree with that.
Way too easy for snipers. Especially if they're making it so that...
I don't know about snipers. I think just in general. I just think in general, because snipers are going to have the G1 formula, altitude, wind, humidity, etc.
Well, I'm not too worried about that. What I'm talking about with snipers is if they're planning to implement, which I have heard that they are, where bullets can go through things due to...
Yes, they are.
If a sniper is shooting close range and they can physically see where the head of an enemy is through a wall, they'll be able to snipe one-shot head them, no problem.
I get what's going with that, but it also goes on caliber as well, and what type of material the thing is made from. the wall you're behind or the vehicle you're behind or whatever it is you're behind. It depends on like the caliber of the gun, the type of gun, like I said, the wind, the altitude, the humidity. It's like all these factors determine how if it's going to correctly go through, because it's not going to just straight go through the wall, depending on what it is. Like sometimes it will actually ricochet off.
Yeah, will the bullets as well change direction slightly when hitting materials?
Yeah,
because
they're going to be able to ricochet and bounce around.
Yeah, but like if you were to shoot at, say, a glass window, the first bullet or the bullet breaking the glass or penetrating the glass wouldn't continue on in a straight arc. It would bounce off to the side.
Well, they did say that, like, he said there was the trajectory and the ricochet, so I'm assuming it will, but I don't know how well it will be effective on glass. I do know, however, say if somebody's wearing a helmet and you shoot at not a direct angle towards their helmet, and it like grazes it, it can actually deflect off the helmet and ricochet in a different direction.
Like real life.
Which is funny considering the person that it ricochets to.
Okay. One thing, I got this. I really hope they don't add this feature. I really hope, and it's replay. So when you die, you get to see where the person who killed you is. I don't want that, because if I'm camping and I'm taking people out left and right, I don't want them to instantly know where I am.
But I feel like,
especially if you got a high enough stealth skill, so
sure.
Anyways.
But then again, I feel like based upon the premise of the game that it's sort of a reality show, then and the BCU helps track the people. The cameras would obviously know where the people are, hence the camera should also be aimed at the position. However, I could be cool with something like if you have a high enough stealth level, the drone gets further and further away, and maybe you can't see the person there, you can just see the general area of where you are. I think that would work perfectly well.
There's
the
also
thing about the drones is that they've stated that you'll be able to, as players, control the drones while in the events.
Not only that,
participating in an event, you have the option to control a drone.
Yeah, and not only that, the drones won't always be following people.
Yeah, exactly. The drones can essentially going around doing whatever they want, and if it's a player-controlled one, they can go down and troll the people that are in the events. And literally just fly right above the people, giving away their locations, left, right, and center.
And then anyone that are controlled by AI aren't always going to be... Like, there will be periods of time when you're not being watched by drones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I get both points of views, like mine and yours, because obviously it's a reality TV show, so maybe they will have a replay thing because of that, to show for the audience. But that's actually one thing I'm actually kind of confused about. Like, who is the audience? Is it just the AI? Like, is the audience the AI? Or is it, like, people who are going to come in and just watch via the drones? Like, is that the audience, or...?
I personally have a feeling that it's probably a situation where it's just part of the storyline, that it's the broadcasters of the show, Tech One, that are essentially hosting and financing this entire endeavor.
I mean,
I believe I read somewhere that the government or something like that actually imprisons all these people for even slightest offenses, like speaking up against them and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
I think that was the wiki description, wasn't it?
I don't know. I read it somewhere, not entirely exactly where.
But yeah, it wasn't even governments. It's big corporations now that
or corporations, yes, something like that. But basically, they are able to send people to jail on the island, of course, even for the slightest offenses, as like speaking out against those corporations.
See, I didn't actually know that. Like, I got the basic, like, oh, these were prisoners. They were sent to the island, and they're forced to fight on this island. Like, I got that basic gist you get of, like, welcome to the island thing, but I didn't actually learn that or know anything about, like, that far into the backstory. I knew that the government sent prisoners here, but I didn't know that other corporations were doing that as well. I knew they'd be sponsoring, but I didn't know that they would be able to do that.
So, Syntax, a lot of what this means is that a fair amount of the prisoners will technically be political prisoners then.
Yeah. Indeed.
Which means actually them including a lot of the hacker aspect is very realistic. Well, if you think about it in the way that hackers will go and try and break into companies and they'll try and get a little bit of information here and there, and they will try and publicize all of the hidden information that companies don't want out there. Having hackers on the island makes more sense.
I mean, there's also the basic hackers, but I get what you mean. All these skills could be because the amount of people that are there as prisoners and constantly coming in, everybody's going to have a wide variety of skills. Like, some people are going to be better at certain things than others. So it makes sense, lore-wise, that people would have genius level to average level skills in every category.
I'm going to be a master.
And as you were saying, Kag, it looked like you were trying to say something, so I'm going to kind of give you the chance to do that.
I was just you just finish off the discussion, and I'll take a question from the chat. I was reading in my mind, and I was, with my.
Oh, okay. It looks like you were trying to get something, and I wanted to make sure you were able to.
Well, that's also the thing I love about the game is basically anybody can be sent to the island. So you have a diversity, on the island, which would explain why somebody is a expert medic, somebody is an expert cook, and shit like that, So
yeah,
I quite like it.
I like that too. I think it's really good.
Plus, it also explains how you can have really high skills going into the game right off the bat, versus just having like level 1 in all of the skills and having to work your way up instead of just being able to have a fairly high cooking or fairly high medic skill right off the bat.
You know what? I actually really
sense for that.
I really like the skill system that it has in place, where you can actually get better with certain skills and actually worsen. Like, you can lose skill. You can lose. Let's be precise and say I like the fact that they take it a step farther and make it to where you gain weight, gain muscle, lose weight, lose muscle. Like, your body's constantly changing, and there is intelligence is something that's always going to stay like what it is at whatever you select it for, but everything else is going to change dynamically over time. Depending on how you play depending on how you play your character, everything will change over time except for your intelligence.
What if
for now, yes, the intelligence, there's no way to increase it beyond character creation.
Yeah.
So just to
and what were you saying?
There, everybody always max out your intel.
I was thinking it would be a nice idea if, for instance, if somebody smashed your head with a fucking boulder or, I don't know, axe or something similar, it would go down.
Yeah,
basically, there is penalties. Other than diseases, say diseases or illnesses, it can actually affect your stats like strength, intelligence, etc. Like, all your stats can be temporarily affected until it's cured. And if you're shot in the head and wounded or something like that, you will have to actually heal it before your intelligence will go back up to what it currently is at. So say it's at 5 and you get shot in the head, or you have an illness, it will drop to like, say, 3. Or your dexterity will drop as well. Like, things will drop based on what illnesses you have, and if your body isn't fully healthy.
Honestly, I would personally quite like if there was something more permanent. Let's say you had a bad injury, you stitch it up, or you put a tourniquet on it or whatever, but you have some effects left after the injury. For instance,
so you're talking about like chronic disabilities kind of thing.
Let's say, for instance, about 3 or 4 years ago, I managed to turn my scooter into a motorized catapult. I catapulted myself off of it.
Okay.
I landed on my hand, and even though I had surgery the same day at midnight, so basically 6 hours apart from the incident, still after 4 years, I have problems with the arm.
Oh, nerve damage. Okay.
Bone damage, actually.
I honestly don't know if they have that implemented, like, to that degree. And
that would be awesome if there were some more permanent.
I think that could be cool because
I think if you manage to keep your character alive for a couple of years, you deserve to have some issues with your body.
Yeah. I definitely think that would be an interesting feat because it kind of add personality to your character,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh, I remember this one time somebody threw a grenade at me and I barely made it out, and now I'm like forever have this limp or something. Or my left arm will never be able to hold a gun the same way, but I still try my best. Like,
well, the funny thing is, with the whole or not revive, but the respawn system, when you get respawned, you're technically a clone of the original you.
Yeah.
And what that means is that any injuries you had are just gone now, as if they never happened to you, because
we're assuming
you're a genetic clone.
we're assuming here, like, say you don't die though. Say like you live for months in this game. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna be possible. Just say we live for 3 months, and we're gonna live through a lot of crap if we live for 3 months in this game. We're gonna be like battle scars is what you want, like things to be like, yeah, I got this back in not numb, but you get my point. I got this back in that event from like 2 weeks ago.
Well, with that in mind, what I'm talking about is to get around the whole long-term disability issue, somebody could just get one of their friends to off them so that they can get a fresh body.
But what if you don't want to die, though? What if you take pride in those scars?
And not only that, you also lose all your damned skills and attributes.
Ah, but no, if you've lived that long, that means you've got a lot of fame points, which means you can bring a lot of that stuff back with you into your new character.
But that's what you were saying.
Okay. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, with the fame points, you can keep the good things like your skill levels and your gear, but get rid of the bad stuff like your long-term.
Okay. One thing I have to point out here though is just so you guys know, this is very important in terms of what you're saying about the respawn. Is when you respawn, you will not be able to take all your skills back. Only a limited amount. You can only choose a limited amount what you want to be able to have your character to retain from that previous life.
Really?
You won't be able to take everything.
Dependence on your fame points. If you had enough,
nope. Right now right now as the newest thing that has been stated or replied to by a dev, it's going to cost a little bit right now. It was originally free to respawn until they implemented the whole fame system, but now it's going to cost a little bit. But when they had it fully implemented, as of right now, it could change, obviously. What they're going to do is let you take only a limited amount of the skills that your character had back with you. So you won't be able to die and then take a fully maxed character again. You will be a downgraded version of what you previously were.
I like that.
Okay.
So, and then like another thing, like based on like what you were saying, skill, like some people don't want to die. Like I'm gonna be honest, I'm the type of person like if I have a character, I'm gonna get emotionally attached to my character. I'm like, no, I'm like, live, you're gonna make it. Come on, keep running, and then they're gonna shoot me, and I'm gonna like die and cry inside. The little boy inside me is gonna cry, but I'll play it off and I'll be like, it's cool, guys. I'll respawn, but inside I'm crying.
Or you know, one of us will come up behind you and stealth kill you.
There we go. I would be so upset with you guys.
Friendly fire is on. Just saying.
It is.
Are you guys ready for a couple?
Thank you for saying that.
You guys ready for a couple of questions from the chat or comments as well?
No, right away.
Silver, I got a few, so let's just jump through them as soon as they're
okay.
Yeah. Silver, the Puggles. Do you think they'll ever implement a feature where there's like a Twitch stream for a server, and in the stream the viewers can control the drones to look at players and vote for them?
They actually have confirmed that they are working on something.
That would be interesting. One thing I actually suggested in the Discord is having a spectator mode. And it would be different from the drone control mode in the fact that you wouldn't actually be controlling where the drones move, but you would be able to switch between different drone feeds at any time you want. So you as a streamer could act as a broadcaster for Tech 1 kind of thing.
They're actually going to take it a step further in what I've read for the plans that they you guys know about I have. When they did the stream, they allowed viewers to summon things into the world as events. They're actually going to take it a step further for this and do that. They're going to allow viewers to actually have some sort of control over what events actually will pop up in the map. So they could be like, they want zombies to appear here. And then zombies will appear. They're thinking of implementing a feature that will allow viewers to be able to do that.
Okay, so they're essentially thinking about adding like Twitch UI to the game? Or?
Yes, but to it, essentially that. They're just trying to make people who are on Twitch be able to somehow affect the world, almost as if the Twitch audience was part of the audience of the game as well. Obviously, though, I have to say that this is literally just a plan right now. It's just a concept. This is nothing that is 100% confirmed, but it's definitely they have something that they're thinking about.
That'd be interesting to see how they implement that.
But I must say, that's a bloody good concept. Imagine you're just watching your favorite streamer played a fucking game and you can spawn zombies to scare the shit out of him.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know, you know. But my
There's
main
this horde
problem.
of zombies at the airport. Once they're in there, they've already started looting some stuff. And then zombies are walking around outside. They go outside of their little hangar, and next thing you know, there's just this horde in front of them.
It's gonna be epically fun. I really hope they get to the point where they can actually implement it. I can barely imagine the fun we could have. Imagine we're 4 people streaming together, like us 4, like we planned, and then 2 of us go in, the 2 others have to stay outside in order to keep guard, because we never know what our viewers will start throwing at us.
As you were saying,
You have
Syntax?
to be a lot more aware
It's
of their
also-
environment then.
Yeah, but it's also the problem I'm seeing with this concept. They're gonna have to do a hell of a job in order for people not to just bloody, take advantage of that and do it just to troll people and nothing else.
I think the best thing, from what you're saying, is to actually add like a timer for like how much the audience can thing, like maybe like 30 seconds or a minute
Well,
in
if you think
between
about it in
events.
terms
I
of
think
using
that would be a bit too much.
Or
if you
depending
you
on
think it
in
would?
terms of bots being able to give out coins and whatnot, it
Oh, yeah.
will link
Or-
it to a bot and make
Yeah.
it so that you have to pay so much of that streamer's coin currency kind of thing.
or
makes
you
sense.
could
That'd be
have
better
it
To
like,
introduce those things into the game.
or you could have it like timed so that if you watch for 5 minutes, you get 1 token or whatnot, and then
Exactly.
10
That's how the
tokens.
currency system works for those bots. Like
Yeah.
That
my
makes
bot
sense.
gives out, I think, 5 coins every 15 minutes.
yeah.
And make it so that you have to spend so many coins to be able to spawn something interesting into the world, or to be able to control the drones kind of thing.
I think that'd be cool. I think that'd probably be the best way they could implement this audience feature.
All right, we have to. Could we try to speed up the answers to the questions, because they're coming in quicker than I can. than we
Okay,
get
let's
to
move
them.
on. We'll rapid fire this.
There's a couple of comments in there as well that I figured was worthy of mentioning as well. Stuart says he has some numbers as well. Stuart is going to be the name. I hope there's some cool physical character customizations. Not a lot of games have diverse hairstyles and stuff. Which was in terms answered in the chat, but do you want to go into more details on it? Any one of you?
Basically, I guess I can answer that one as well. And unfortunately, as of right now, I don't see any plans for hair at all. I haven't seen anything for it. I know there's basic tattoos. There's probably gonna be like, let's say the basic Skyrim or Fallout 10 selection of tattoos, then the opacity of it and the color. But other than that, they do plan on implementing more tattoos into the game in the future, but it's not on their highest priority list right now. And in terms of character customization, I'd say from what you've seen, your body obviously dynamically changes, so there's not much in terms of that. It's going to be based on what you set your character's stats as for the basic setup of your character, like whether he's fat, skinny, muscled or not. And then the face, there's probably going to be a basic setup in terms of like what you're going to be able to choose for features on that.
I'm just going to add one more thing for the hair. I don't remember if this was the devs mentioning this or if this was just a discussion in the Discord, but there has been a discussion, at the very least, of having the hair dynamically grow as your character gets older, so you can change your hairstyles throughout the game.
I'd be
I
a
don't
fan of
know
that.
if they plan to implement that in the game or not, but it has been discussed in the Discord.
I think it was just suggested by a user.
Yeah.
Although, if they do, that would be epic as hell.
Okay, so moving on.
This one is a little bit more of a talking point. Stuart again asks, I really want to know all the planned status effects. Getting permanently blinded, deafened, or disabled somehow would be cool.
I actually can find this. Can you ask another question while I look this up? Because I actually have this.
Yeah, is it just me, or I hope Stuart doesn't take offense here. But you sound like that. I get your point fully and completely, but it sounds a little sadistic.
What?
Look, I'd love to be deafened and blinded, and I'm kidding. I would enjoy that as well, to be honest.
With
But yeah,
that question in mind, I'm just going to add they have not stated anything about including severed limbs or anything like that.
Nope, that's going to be hard to do with the engine.
yeah. But what Stuart also follows up with, I know poisons are planned and can injure your body parts. And then silver, the Thuggles Puggles says you could actually have organ damage if you were to get shot in, say, the kidney or the heart. And then Stuart replies again with organ damage, heart smile.
Okay, organs right now haven't actually been implemented, but they are going to be the different organs of the body in, so there could be more critical shots and more different damages like he just said. It's not yet going to be at release. You can also get knocked out as a character, obviously in resulting of fist fighting or something to do with a narcotic, I'm going to assume. Then, depending on the amount of damage sustained, you're going to have vision blur, color fading, bleeding out, and similar effects are going to be enabled for both instances of the gameplay, not just the survival, but any of the events as well. So those are just some of the things that are going to happen. They are going to expand on like what types of effects you can deal or take, depending on if you're taking drugs, alcohol. They're going to have different effects for all of that.
And I'm just going to make a little addition when it comes to the healing aspects, given the whole injury discussion. Healing is very, very slow in Scum. When you go to heal yourself, it takes a really long time for your health bar to go back up.
All right.
Well,
Okay, that's it.
What did you say, Syntax?
I said you can't expect to be instantly healed, so I think that's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's again back to the realism and survival aspect of things, I suppose. But all right, let's move on. The anti-KOS hitman or whatever is dope. This is Stuart again. I really hope they're powerful enough to actually stop KOS. And I have to be a little noob here and say KOS.
Kill on site. Basically, when it comes to killing on site or camping, just use that as the broad term. Anything that has to do with trolling. Say you are killing people as they come out of a safe zone or etc. And you're constantly doing it. What they're going to implement is a feature to where Tech 1 can send puppets after you that are specifically trained to kill you, or other players after you with a bounty on your head.
Right,
and then they can also make it to where you can your fame points will actually go down as a way of it's not really pleasing the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have implementations that they're going to have to counteract that. And another big thing that I have to mention for that is the safe zones are going to be pretty big. It's going to be really hard to just instantly kill somebody in the size of the safe zones that they have.
Unless you're sniping.
At least that's the goal they're going for. No, even with sniping. Because their goal of it is to make it to where the safe zones are big enough to where it is an effective safe zone, not just like a small little town or something like that. That you actually go into and chat, trade, etc. And you're going to be able to leave without having to worry about getting sniped the second you step out of the field or the whatever the wall is that blocks the safe zone from the outside world.
So it'd have to be at least a kilometer, if not a kilometer and a half wide kind of thing.
I actually believe I have statistics for that, but since we're keeping these short and just I'll leave it at that.
Sure. Next one is from Stuart. The Battle Royale game SOS had a system where viewers could vote for stuff to drop near the streamers. It could be supplies or enemies.
Oh,
I think that would go back to the audience Twitch thing that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
About how,
Yeah, the Twitch UI implementation.
I think that would go along with that.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was more of a comment towards that, as in.
Oh, okay.
This is what your guys.
Yeah, no. If they introduce something like that, where say a viewer could sponsor the person they're watching to be able to give them a little bit of extra gear.
Yeah.
Similar to what you would see in the movie Hunger Games, for example.
Oh yeah, and it would work perfectly with the way that Scum is set up, sort of, where you have the reality show aspect of it, where broadcasters, you have the whole aspect of entertaining the viewers at home. I think this would really work out, especially for live streaming, where you have the joy of having the viewers. So you actually have viewers like you would in the game, and then being able to do something with them is awesome.
Okay. I got one thing that I want to kind of bring out real quick with this is, what if, like, since the audience can watch, like, say they want to choose to watch and spectate a specific player, do you think it'd be cool to add like a feature to where, like, say you're playing the game and you're playing a character, where like they could message the like player like kudos or you're doing great or something like that, and like it just kind of pop up in front of you like on the UI of your character's screen? Like, say you just see like kudos or like something like that. What do you think about that?
It implements well with the BCU.
Because I think it could be a feature that would work, but do you think it'd be too much for that?
I think it'd be a little too much.
Okay.
I think it would depend on the, like, you'd have to set a filter on it so that, okay, you could get one message every 10 minutes you play or every 50 minutes you play or whatnot.
I think maybe you should limit it to events
like
only.
2,000 people watching you, and you've got even half of them or even a third of them sending messages to you, you're getting like this scroll bar that's going up.
Okay.
Imagine if even one came up on your screen while you were trying to get that perfect shot on your enemy. It messes you up. Even one is enough.
That would be so
okay,
funny.
guys, I get it. It was a horrible idea.
No, I do enjoy the idea. I think as long as the implementation is done well, it really works out awesome. But of course, you have to have.
If they implement the strict timing rules with it, it would work out pretty nicely.
Yeah, and have the Twitch chat or whatever chat you'd use for it had there's only one comment coming through every X amount of minutes, so that even if you have a gazillion viewers, you'd only get one.
It
comment.
only takes one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that you get a total of one comment, no matter how big your channel is, every 50 minutes.
So what's next?
But then again, imagine for those of you who have seen like the Twitchers going bananas with messages they're getting when they're live streaming. Imagine that on Scum. It's like you could have all sorts of things coming up there on the screen that I'm not going to mention because I'll be banned from YouTube for the saying
yeah, okay, I get that. That could also be horrible too. You know what? Never mind. Okay, you guys have all convinced me. It should not be a feature. No, anybody who's listening to this, don't ask for it. Don't include it. This is a dead feature. Should have never been brought up. I'm gonna cry in the shower tonight, guys. Thanks a lot.
Okay, on to the next question.
This is from Silver the Thuggle Puggles again. I think the way to balance it is for the drone vote to affect an area and not an individual player.
I agree.
Again, coming back to the same point.
Yep, I agree with that.
All right, that was.
That's all I have. That's all I have. I agree.
I'm just gonna leave that at that.
I think it would be a good thing because even if it was, let's say, a pop-up in the fucking field or whatever, it's still gonna maybe get in somebody's line of sight. So I don't think any kind of.
Oh well, we're talking more of the events to where like they can like summon zombies or summon puppets that are shooting, etc. Like summon events like that in a certain area, and just like say like all four of us are just sitting there and we're in the airfield, and for some reason there's no action going on. There's like maybe a few zombies, we take them out, etc. And we're just sitting there, and then somebody's watching, like, you know what? They need some zombies. They need a horde of zombies. They're like summon, and then all of a sudden a horde of zombies is there. But
we already discussed about that.
Yeah, but the question went back to that though.
Oh, great. 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah.
But again,
on to the next.
No, we'll jump back to the talking again. No more comments as of right now. No more questions.
Oh, okay. So we'll just cycle through. Okay.
We've caught up to them again.
We caught up to them. That's great. Okay. I mean, anybody got anything else? I mean, I'm gonna cycle through and look for anything like the fact of being able to zero in with your scopes, peeking around corners. Depending on the area you're roaming through, if you visit a bigger town, you're gonna meet more zombies. Like a good example of this is has anyone here played DayZ?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How about Miscreated?
What?
H1Z1 Just Survive?
Nope.
Okay, well, pretty much they're all the same game. Okay, let's be honest here. They're all pretty much the same game. And you meet like 1 to 3 zombies in like a 30-minute period, or even longer. And it doesn't really matter where you are. Like, I've been to one place where I met 5 zombies in one place. That was the max I saw in DayZ, and like all at once. And in this, Oh, you can continue. I'll finish after.
You can't really take DayZ as a comparison for that because DayZ has gone through so many shitty changes that it's not even funny.
Well, yeah, but I'm using it as a base since the base game of Scum is survival and the events in the world. So the base thing is survival in the open world. So I'm using that as an example for comparing it to...
But what I mean, you cannot use just say one time I only came across only 3 zombies and...
Oh, no. I mean, there was more than that. Like, I've played it...
Because, you should, if you played the game longer, you should know that there were times when there wasn't a single zombie in the game.
Yes. I was just...
What the hell?
To be specific, I guess, most of the time I barely ever ran across anything. Out of all the time I've ever played DayZ or Miscreated, I barely run across any enemies that are PvE. And that's even the same with players. Like, I run across players more than I run across anything PvE. But I was using this sense because this was the most zombies I've ever seen at a time I was playing DayZ, which I guess I should have led with that. And Scum, from what I've seen, if you go to like a place with one house, you might see like one zombie. If you go to an airport, and this I'm quoting and not confirming because they said you'll see a horde of zombies. And to me, a horde of zombies isn't just 5 zombies. It's like 20 to 30 zombies. Like, that's a horde to me.
Dude, I'm going to top that up even more. A horde of zombies to me is what you see in the movie World War Z.
Okay.
Horde of friggin' zombies.
I don't think that's going to happen. But, I mean, I would love that.
That would be awesome to see in the game.
Are we ready for another question?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll ever change it from hang on, I'm just gonna read this in my head first.
Okay.
We'll do another one while I read this and get to grips with it. Do you guys? This is from Stuart. Do you guys plan on doing any kind of RP?
Okay, so role playing. I mean, if I can get some that I know would take role playing seriously and actually do it correctly, I'd be up for it.
That's my main plan of doing in the game, but my problem is I would have to be able to rent my own server where I could enforce certain rules for it.
Yeah, and with that, they said they don't plan to have servers available for rent until a little into EA.
And you'll be renting through G Portal. Yeah. Although I heard that you'll be able to rent at the beginning, so that might have changed.
Okay.
I heard that they'll be rentable from day one, but I mean, it could have changed. So I'll just say it's not confirmed.
Hello, Rob.
Because
what I plan to do with the game once I get care of the basics like good clothing, equipment, and stuff like that is I would like to roleplay as a trader. So when I heard that there are safe zones in the game, that was like a godsend to me. And apart from that, I would also like to open a in-game, or basically this would be a in-game server-based radio station. So once they implement radios or radio transceivers or anything like that, I would pick a certain frequency and using how's it called, voice meter banana and software like that, I can actually set so that my desktop audio is going through my microphone, so I could literally play music and stuff like that, whatever.
That would be interesting if they implement that.
To build off your basing idea, since they're not going with actually building based and fortifying, I actually have something that might be interesting, might give you more information. There's like they said, there's going to be houses that you'll be able to get keys to. Basically, I'm just going to read something that I ended up pulling off.
Do that in relation to the next one, because that will come into fortifying.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I'll wait for that then.
So this is going to be a couple of comments in a row. Okay. And I've gotten to grips with the comment from Silver to Thuggle Puggles. Do you think that they'll ever change it from where your character disappears upon logout to your character actually falling asleep? And I think the character falling asleep is more realistic and better. Then Stuart goes on to say the sleep thing is that overboard with zombies, animals, and only fortifying buildings. Too easy to get killed. The only other game I've seen the sleeping thing is Reign of Kings. But in that game, you can build a literal fort for protection while you're offline.
Well, in for Scum, what they're going to do for logging out of the game, say
You disappeared.
F4.
Yeah, your audio cut out, dude.
Oh, okay. I'll restart again.
Yep. Just a second.
Better?
Just
Better?
Yeah, for now at least.
Okay, one second.
So,
And there he
the
goes.
game is coming out on the
Is this
29th
better?
this month.
What did you say?
You sound quite different now.
I sound different?
Yeah, as if you changed your microphone or something.
Did you turn that
But
on
can you hear me?
or-
No, I didn't.
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
What I meant is your audio cut out for a couple of seconds and then.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I just unplugged my mic and plugged it back in to try and fix it. So, but basically, what was I even saying? I lost my train of thought. This is important. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
So when you log out of the game, you have to find a place to be safe, like whether it's your home or in a bush or somewhere. And your drone, what they have for future plan is to actually pick you up and bring you off the island, but it's going to take around 45 seconds to leave. So you're not going to be able to instantly leave or just Alt F4 and leave, because they made this to implement the people who are like, oh, got to Alt F4, so like they have to have it a timer to where the drone takes you and leaves. So say you do Alt F4, or you lose electricity or something. Your character will remain in the game for that 45 seconds before the drone takes you out. So it's kind of a lore-wise a way to explain how you're leaving the game. So in the sleeping, as far as the sleeping goes, they don't have anything right now planned, because what they thought about is to actually have your character rest. But to do that, you'd actually have to take time. And you can't speed up time because it's a persistent world. So that means you'd have to actually lay there and rest until your character is fine. So they're really right now debating on what they should do in terms of sleep.
That plus for casual
sleep.
players, going the sleep aspect instead of actually making your character disappear would be
Yeah.
a lot more problematic with casual players.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally don't really like an idea of having a character actually sleeping in game while I'm logged off, because
You can be killed.
yeah, anybody could just come across my bush accidentally. Ooh, free loot! Bam, on the head.
I mean, the perfect example for this is Ark Survival Evolved. When you log off the game, your body's in the game until you log back in.
Yeah, Ark was actually mentioned by SlaveToTheGames as an example.
Yeah.
Also, I have 2 questions, if you may.
Okay.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So Black Botan asks, what languages are supported?
I know that the languages supported right now is obviously English. I believe there will be, in terms of servers, I can answer, which I'm assuming because of the servers, it's going to be that language. Brazilian, Asian, and that's all I can confirm right now.
If there's any
So there
Brazilian
really
people
isn't
out
too
there, that
much.
would be Portuguese.
Yeah, there really aren't too
Thank
many
you.
languages that are supported by
And
the
Asian
game
is such a good language. I love Asian language.
So it's covering all the Asian languages, not just.
I don't think
Screw you guys.
Well, I think you're
I thought that
probably-
would be self-explanatory.
Well, we
I
have.
think it's probably gonna be all the general languages like
Yes.
Hey, wait, is
Spanish,
Russian included in that?
German.
Or?
I believe Russian is included in that, but not the
Russian is,
Asian.
I'm sorry, most of Russian
Blame
okay?
me! God.
Also, another favorite topic of ours: is there going to be base building or the ability to claim a structure in the game? Asks
Okay, I guess,
the 6th.
I guess that goes with what I was going to say. I mean, I guess I can bring it up now, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much, the comment by a dev I saw was, bases are already there in the game, but you're going to have to be able to make them operational. First, you will have to clear them from the puppets, zombies, etc., or if they're using guns. The next thing is to find a way to start up the generator, find fuel to get electricity. Then you're going to have to mend or fix broken walls, and after that, it's up to you to how you will maintain them. This is for large abandoned facilities, but they're also looking at a possibility to make a server base surrounded by a wall with improvised tents and other structures. Also, at certain points, you will be able to take over any house on the island. They're still working on the game mechanics here, but the idea is that you'll claim a key either by earning it in an event or by buying it in the safe zone. Then you can use that key to lock any house you pick on the island. Also, you have to close, barricade windows, doors, set up traps to make it more secure, just to make sure that people will not claim the building and leave. These keys are going to have an expiration date. This is going to be either made in a way that you have to log onto the server once per week or per month to make the house stay in your claim, or you'll have to pay rent by fame points to keep it as yours.
With that in mind, I'm also going to mention that the fortifications are not going to be available at launch. They will be implementing them during early access, though.
Sure.
Wasn't it said that you can?
No,
there will be fortifying, but it's not going to be at day one
or something. Yeah. Not until early access will they start doing the fortifications.
Okay.
So Stuart brought up a new possible talking point. The overall tone of the release reveal trailer scared me, or well, him. The Mad Max tone and the mix with the Crazy Wolf costume had me thinking this was gonna try too hard to be like H1 and Fortnite. And then Stuart continued on to say, I understand games need to be appealing, but they really should stick to the more mature tone.
I can kind of cancel the Fortnite aspect away, because as far as right now, there's no Battle Royale planned at all. There will not be a Battle Royale right now. But
no,
they did say...
More the tone of the game, I think.
What do you mean?
Like, if I understand Stuart correctly, and please, Stuart, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's more about the tone that it sets. More, not the game mode, but the...
Like more comedy and not more serious, or...
Yeah, the lack of seriousness and the lack of maturity with it.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that could be afraid, but at the same time, I kind of view what you can do. Like, obviously, I don't believe you're going to be chasing somebody every second of the game or anything like that. I think they're just trying to showcase and get more of a fan base, kind of draw in more of an audience. I think it's literally just grab people.
When it comes to the trailer, I think what they're trying to do, from my point of view at least, is essentially advertise A, Mr. Smiles, B, that frigging bird,
Eagle,
and C, the drone. That, as well as the whole puppet aspect. Sure. Those I think are the four main things that they're trying to advertise.
Yeah.
Seeing how we're talking about the trailers now, anyways, can we? What do you guys think about the release date trailer versus the first one? Because
just a second.
Chaotic basically just mentioned all the things that were different in the two.
What?
Before
no.
We continue on a,
most of the stuff I mentioned were in the original one.
Honestly,
before we continue on a longer discussion, if I just could. So Black Boat and the game at release on early access is gonna be $20. It's been said, and as more updates are coming to the game, you know, more work is done, more content is implemented, the price will rise. We do not know exactly how much it's gonna rise, but we're thinking about a maximum of maybe $40 when it's fully released, like the finished product. So.
I'm also going to add that $20 is 20 American for those that are in other countries.
Or it's gonna be 20 euros for us Europeans, because
actually, no, the devs have stated that they're using $20 American as their baseline.
It doesn't matter, mate. Steam matters, because Steam calculates that
Steam adjusts the price based on the region.
Yeah, so basically, for those of you who are not familiar with Norway, that means double the price.
Yeah.
Damn!
In Canada, it'll be about 30.
Damn, Jesus!
In Croatia here, the price is the same in euros as it is in USD. So if it's 20 USD, it's gonna be 20 euros for us here.
That's
well, I mean, that's lucky for us too.
Are like twice what American is in most places.
Hey, just be happy you don't have to pay 30 or 40 for it.
Quick question from Barnyard Steve. Have you heard anything about tides or weather changing the map?
I actually have.
Silver, that Toggle Papa Goals also answered. I think that's just a planned feature right now.
In terms of weather changing itself, obviously, there's going to be different weathers. There's going to be etc. From what I've seen of the storms, it doesn't look like it's going to be like Hurricane Katrina or ridiculous storms like that, but they're definitely going to have like heavy rain, and it's not going to just rain for 2 seconds like every couple of hours. It's like they were when they commented about the storms, they literally commented with like, get a raincoat.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they want storms and weather to actually have an impact here, not just to be like, oh no, it's raining, I better run inside, go inside and be like, well, I'll just wait 5 minutes until the storm's over and then go out and continue my day. Like they actually want it to feel like the weather actually has an impact to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it also reduces the render distance when storms are going on as well.
Not sure about that, but I do know that, just a quick tip, if it is raining or snowing, because there will be snow, guys, just to let you know, hiding under a tree right now at the current moment of release, you're not going to be able to be protected from the rain or the snow. It will still affect you the same as if you weren't under a tree.
Really?
Yep. As far as release right now. After that, in the future plans, they might have plans to change that, but right now for release, that.
I'm singing in the rain. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist.
It's okay. Any other questions we have right now?
Not for my part, at least.
What about you?
Over here.
They seem
Syntax?
to be coming in. They seem to be coming in bulk.
Okay, that's fine. You guys know about the tents, obviously, in the game, right? The different versions of tents you'll be able to get.
Well, we could go through them anyways, I suppose.
Okay, basically, it's just going to be a quick fact that's really... tents are going to be planned, obviously, for the reasons that you obviously already know. There's going to be various ways to obtain them, so you can find them around the world. You can also buy them with fan points, and you can even craft your own improvised shelters. And also, netting is going to be an idea that they're going to be on in the future.
Cool.
And when it comes to spawn points, I believe they said something about bedrolls that you can make as
yes.
spawn point.
You will get 3 different versions of spawning when you die. So pretty much you'll be able to spawn in a bed. Or I don't know if this is... You know, honestly, I don't know how the dying works, but this is what they said. They said spawning will be in a bed, or it'll be near your teammates, but it's not going to be like right on your teammates. It's going to be a distance away from them to where you're going to be able to directly interact with whatever's happening. So say they're ambushed, you can't just spawn right in the middle of the fight and wreck everyone. So you'll spawn a distance away to where you can still get to them, but not too far of a distance where it feels like you have to travel across the entire map just to get to your teammates.
I think they said something about it being like 1 or 2 kilometers away.
That's fair enough.
Speaking of the map, though, for anyone here who's played DayZ, the map on that, I believe, is like 244 kilometers, 260 something.
225, if I'm not mistaken, meters.
Okay, and this one is 144.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Honestly,
it's not as big, but hey.
Honestly, my problem with that is that even in DayZ that has a larger map, I managed to easily come across other people because there was always something. For instance, you always went for the airfields, the military camps, and stuff like that, and there was always a town where you would fucking meet somebody. So that's my problem with Scum. It's a lot smaller world than DayZ, but it's the same number of players, if I'm not mistaken. So
64. So yeah, I believe it is.
But to me, that just means you're going to have to be a lot more cautious.
I think
going over to those public areas like the airport, for example, or over to a military base, you're going to have to scope it out a lot more rather than just run in and run straight for one of the places.
I think for me, I have a problem with that because I'm not the like when I play, at least in etc. and all these types of games, I don't instantly run towards the best looted area. Like, I'm all about player interaction and experience, so I'll sit there and, like, people will be like, oh, you don't want to go to the west side of the map because there's nothing there, and I'm like, no, I want to see that town. I want to see that barn. I want to experience this. And they're like, you're going to find nothing. And I'm like, oh, yeah? And then I'll run there, and I'm like, okay, well, there's a pistol here. But I still experienced the place I wanted to go. So maybe that's why I didn't really run across a lot of players, other than the fact that DayZ's dead right now, but...
Yeah, there's that little notion.
After that, we have a question from Rob the 6th again. With other survival games, there tends to be more of PvP and lack of survival aspects. With this game is released, am I going to be focused on survival or getting KOS'd all the time?
Okay, so...
We went across this, but...
I can go over it briefly again. Basically, with this...
Recap.
The base game is going to be survival. And that's it. You get thrown into a world where you just want to survive. However, after that, it's your choice what you do. Events are going to pop up all over the map. So team deathmatch, capture the flag, deathmatch, etc., and then whatever else they plan to implement. Pretty much, they said any basic type of event in a shooting game or any type of game like that is going to be in this one. And you get to choose if you want to go out and do these events. And what I saw in one of them is that you may have to pay some fame to get into these events. This isn't confirmed, but they did say that there was going to be tickets that you would have to pay to go into the events. And then you would risk losing those fame points you used, but you'd also get your own separate gear in the events and then be able to play whatever event it is you win. So if you want to just survive, you cannot go to any of these events. And another big thing is, like, say, this goes with it, because say you're in an area and you took over the shelter and an event's starting in that area. Like, now, you don't want anything to do with that event because you just want to survive, right? Well, you're going to have to leave that area unless you decide to stay. But remember, if you stay, the event's going to go on, and they're going to be able to respawn in the event. And they're not going to lose any of that stuff in that event. But you have one life. If you die while staying in that area, you're going to lose all of that. So you have to decide if you're going to leave while the event goes on and then come back, or if you're going to risk staying in this area and holding it down even while the event's going on.
Keep in mind, those that are participating in events won't be able to leave the event area.
Yes.
So they will be essentially fenced in by, I think, what was it, a electromagnetic field or something that pops up?
I actually don't know about that one.
I saw it in one of the previous streams, but
okay.
Yeah, the people participating in the event won't be able to leave the event area once the event starts. So you won't have to worry about any of that stuff trying to spill out over into the non-event area.
But the people who are not part of the event will be able to leave it.
They will be able to leave it and stay in the area, because the only thing they're doing, though, is they're risking losing everything. Because they only, like I said, they only have one life. They can lose all their gear because they're staying in the area. They have the choice to either leave while the event goes on, and they can come back, but they risk, obviously, if they leave during this time, say they all leave the base, and then another group comes up, now they have to fight for that base. Like, you have to risk losing whatever area you have. It's a constant fight to keep what you have.
Yeah.
And if you stay, you still have to keep it while being in the event, although you're not even participating. So it's up to you if you're going to join or not.
I don't know about you guys, but I personally think we should go through the details of the differences between the survival aspect of the game versus surviving in the event version. Like how the PvP differs between the two.
Not much,
for
example,
from what I've seen
the revive
aspect that you mentioned.
Let's just answer another quick question before we go on that. So Black Botan asked, is there a dynamic weather or day-night cycle? So
yes, there is.
Talked about weather, there is. Any info on how long the days and nights will be?
I actually don't have that.
4 hours, nights are 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, so it's a 6-hour day cycle. The day is 4 hours out of that, and the night is 2 hours.
Okay.
I like that.
Fair.
Okay, let's continue on what you wanted to start.
Okay, so basically what he was talking about is having what was the difference between the events and being in the base game? Basically,
when it comes to PvP combat.
Other than the events, like I'm assuming in Team Deathmatch, when you die, it's not going to be permadeath. You're going to be able to respawn and rack up kills, etc. And then I know for a fact that after each round of the event, you'll be able to spend fame points or in-game currency, because it's going to be your fame points are going to be transferred to in-game currency that you make inside the event. And then in this event, you'll be able to get new gear for the next round, determining if it has multiple rounds. And everything that you obtain at the end, so all this in-game currency you get in the event, by the end of it, it's going to be recalculated and turned into fame points that you get at the end of it. I just had to put that out. But basically, everything is going to be pretty much similar in the events that is in the survival world. The only difference is in the survival world, there's going to be a point where if you shoot somebody in the shoulder, they can actually drop their gun eventually in the future. Because they're wounded, they won't be able to hold it. Now, because in an event, if you're in deathmatch or something like that, people are going to have a crap ton of ammo. If people just spray, you're bound to hit somebody in the arm and it's going to drop. So they decided to leave that out and keep that in the survival aspect, but not put it in for the events. So there'll be slight changes, like if it's going to be super inconvenient, I'm going to assume that they're going to possibly narrow some things and kind of dumb down certain things to make it to where you don't get shot in the arm by a stray bullet that a guy like just rapid fired, and now it's laying on the ground and you can't do anything about it.
I actually like that idea.
What I was thinking when it comes to the difference between survival and event is more along the lines of what's going to be available for the PvPs. An example of this would be guns are readily available in the events for PvP, no problem, left, right, and center.
There's going to be guns out of it.
Whereas survival, guns are going to be extremely rare and ammo is going to be extremely rare. So PvP is going to be a lot more hand-to-hand combat.
Okay, I can
combat.
I actually have what types of weapons you'll be able to get. Like there is around 15 guns in game that you'll be able to use in the survival at release, but they do plan to add more. You just need to find my combat one. I actually have it. It's like rocks, spears. Damn, so many paperwork. Here we go, combat. You will be able to use random objects as weapons such as rocks, sticks, brooms, gardening tools, busts, bowls, bricks, knives, axes, spears, all the way to katanas.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is that in survival, it's going to be a lot more melee and close quarter combat versus in events where it's going to be a lot more gun combat.
Yeah, that goes with what I said. Where when you go into an event, you'll get an entirely separate set of gear. Like you'll get your own gear that you use specifically in that event. You won't take your gear into the event.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like the whole idea of how the events will be. They are trying to still make the events fun. So, as you said, they will remove the possibility of dropping a weapon when you are wounded.
Yep, and then they'll also remove getting shot in the leg, making it where now you have to, or you have to walk really slow if you get shot in one, but if you get shot in two, then now you're on the ground.
Well, yeah, I like the idea that they are removing all of that stuff because I like to think of the events as being short-timed. And for instance, when I get sick and tired of just running around the island trying to survive or whatnot, and when I actually want to go direct into some PvP, the events are basically the answer.
It's like it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, you just jump in. I guess we'll be able to maybe even choose which events we join or not, depending if there's going to be multiple events going around.
There will be multiple events, so I'm assuming they'll be different and not just all be team death.
Yeah, so even better.
From what
so
I'm aware of, when an event happens, it'll give you a notification, and in the notification, it'll tell you what type of event it is.
Exactly. Okay. So basically, if there are going to be multiple active events at the same time, you're just going to be able to choose. I don't like team deathmatch. Maybe I just want to go free for all, last man standing, or whatever. You choose what you like. You get in. You're not burdened by all those survival aspects of the game. You just go for the kill or whatever the.
That's it. That's essentially how they have it set up.
It. Yeah, and I love that it's in that way.
Okay. We got any more questions?
Not for me.
Not for me either.
Okay.
No problem, Rob.
Okay. What do you guys think about being able to tame or domesticate certain animals?
I want to tame a bear.
You're going to be able to tame, at least confirmed, a horse and a type of dog, whether it's a wolf or not. And then eventually they want to plan on implementing farming, but let's just stick to like what you think of the taming feature.
So with taming, will that mean the animal will follow you around as you wander around?
Yep. Okay. You'll eventually be able to ride horses as well, like that's part of the taming.
I think the idea in itself is nice, albeit I don't think it's very realistic. I mean, would you go up to a fucking wolf?
No, I would not. You better believe I'd be running away.
Not to mention the fact that you would be kind of visible, because even though you have maxed out your stealth skills, you
got a damn horse right next to you.
Probably doesn't blend well.
Okay, there's a bush there. Nobody's there.
Use a horse as a distraction to pull you away from you and have it as like a trap.
But the thing is can you use the horse? Can you give it basic commands, or is it just you get on it, you ride, and when you get off it just kind of does its own thing? Like, can you actually give it like commands and say, "Go over there"?
I have a feeling it's probably going to be a situation if it's just a basic mount.
It's probably going to be a basic mount just meaning when it's implemented first, but...
you won't be able to ride it at release either.
Yeah,
I do have to say that.
when it's gonna be implemented.
No,
But later on with updates, I believe that there will be some kind of a system to give, if nothing else, basic commands, because everybody's gonna wanna have to do something else with the animal. You know, somebody's gonna have it as a collection item in their house or what the hell not, and somebody that loves horses is gonna wanna play with horses. You know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just need to add a little something that I think is going to be hilarious if they do end up doing this.
Well, he's saying it, so it's not going to be hilarious. No, I'm kidding.
So it does kind of tie into the taming, but it goes more into hacking.
Okay.
If they give you the ability to hack the ECUs of the puppets, essentially allowing you to tame the puppets and have the puppets follow you around. That would be friggin' awesome.
I don't know, because
if you can hack into the view of the puppet and change the code so that the puppet recognizes you as it's looking around and follows you, but doesn't have the command to attack you, whereas has the command to attack everybody else.
Here's an idea. So on Discord, I already made a suggestion. Why not make it so that the producers can give players quests? Not any player. You have to either do something specific or it's completely random or whatnot.
I can actually build on that.
That they give you a special quest, basically that you do their dirty work. So if somebody is close to escaping the island, you get a quest to somehow sabotage that escape.
Yeah, take them out and you get rewards for it.
Exactly.
With that, I actually put a recommendation in the Discord for a bounty system.
There's actually going to be one there implementing it.
And what I thought as the price system would be, you get some kind of privileges from the producers, but you are also tagged as a inmate or a person that is helping the producer so that other people know to stay clear from you.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And what if being able to control puppets would be one of those privileges?
I can get behind that. That's actually a really cool idea. I like that.
That'd actually be very nice.
As I was saying, as far as it goes with the quests, there's actually going to eventually be story quests, obviously, for escaping the island. There's going to be side quests, NPCs, etc., that they're going to plan on adding. So, I mean, they could theoretically do this, like what you're saying.
And with the little quest that you mentioned, I think that would go quite well with the storyline of the game.
Yeah, because for escaping the island, the story quests are going to be like what you need to proceed. And you're going to get, it's called Rebel Points. And the Rebel Points are basically when you proceed through the story quests or the quests that are going to help you proceed to escaping the island. And the more Rebel Points you get through this, by completing these quests, the closer you are to getting to escaping the island, and the more that the Tech 1 producers are going to pay attention to you and start sending puppets after you and start sending players after you.
In other words, there's going to be bigger hordes of puppets around you all the time.
Probably. They might eventually send the robot after you, etc.
So that would be awesome. So let's say the producers choose a person that doesn't have a lot of Rebel points, but has a lot of fame points.
Oh.
They give them the quest to basically go after the people that have a shit ton of Rebel points and are close to escaping the island. And
a bounty kind of thing, yep.
I have one thing you might like, Syntax. Basically, it's, say you're a casual player, right? And you don't want to put all the hours into making a character diving for hours. There's actually going to be this event to where you can actually hop in as a citizen. I'm just going to say citizen because I forgot the technical term they used for what you are. But you actually pop into the world, and you're tasked. You get to choose like your guns, your armor, etc. And so you're like this souped-up prisoner, but you're really just a citizen. And you go in, and you're tasked with killing as many prisoners as you can. And if the prisoners
or something,
yeah, and basically,
I saw what you mean. Basically, that's the sponsors, the rich folks that want to hunt.
Yeah,
the island.
They get to come in, and then the prisoners can actually fight back. And obviously, if they beat them,
can get their gear, which that would be very interesting.
Yeah, it's the video they said how the hunters become the hunted and stuff like that. Yeah, so I love it.
I have a question from G.SKILL Gaming.
Okay.
Or more of a talking point. I'm curious about what you guys think in terms of how balanced the attributes will be. constitution, intelligence, etc. Do you think there will be a build which emerges as the best, or will variety exist?
I say no, because I think even though with all these attribute skills, it really comes down to player skill when it comes to weapons and what you have to use at your arsenal.
As a baseline, I personally am going to have my intel maxed out, and then the rest of my skill points split evenly between my endurance and strength.
Actually, one thing, the education skill, if you guys don't know about it, the higher your education skill is, the more you're going to be able to learn faster different skills. And to add on to that, if you have no education, I don't know if this is going to be at release, but they do either plan on implementing it or it is at release. If your education is 0, you actually won't be able to read signs or like any of the books. You won't be able to read letters.
It'll just look like squiggly letters or whatnot.
They're actually going to be either implementing it or it's going to be at release. I haven't confirmed either or, but they are definitely having it go into the game.
I have a different.
Personally,
sorry.
Go on, Kag.
I have a different theory on the notion of different attributes and such. I think it's going to build up to something like, I haven't played WoW myself, World of Warcraft, but as I understand it, you have tanks and you have DPS and you have healers and whatnot. I think it's going to build up to something.
Classes.
Yeah, I think it's going to build up to something of a similar note, where you have, say, intelligent people with high constitution, people are strong, people are, and together they form a much stronger team than they would have if everyone had high intelligence.
I definitely agree with you on a baseline there. Like, if we're going base and we start trying to, if we put it into classes, I can agree. I don't think the main attributes are going to be the big game changer, like with the strength and intelligence, anything like that. I think the skills are going to be what separates everyone. Because, for instance, say, Cag, you max out your medical, I max out my camouflage, everybody else maxes out survival, sniping, throwing, stealth, like any one of these. Like, we can all choose specific categories to max out on, and then we can be professionals in that expertise.
You know what I think? I think it's
because as a group, we would all have the skills up high enough, kind of thing.
Yeah.
As you were saying, Syntax?
I personally believe it's gonna be quite diverse, though, because in the end, it all comes down to how the hell you want to play the game that you bought.
Yeah.
If you're playing alone, if you're playing in a team, it all depends. For instance, we might be playing in a 4-man team, but we won't be focusing too much on the teamwork, you know? We might just want to build a strong character that can hoard a shit ton of items in his backpack, which I know
I agree.
Doing. But it all comes down to how you want to play your player.
I definitely agree with that. That depending on how each person wants to build their player, and depending on if you're playing solo or as a team, is also going to impact how you create your character. Because sure, you could be a group of 4 people, and then none of you want to like, okay, I'm going to expertise in this, I'm going to expertise in this, etc. I'm going to make sure I'm the best in this. Like, you could all just like, you know what, I'm going to play my own character how I want it, and then we're going to hopefully benefit from this, and if we don't, well, whatever.
Well, yeah,
basically
have a little bit of benefit in that aspect.
It basically depends on how you want to play. For instance, 4-player Scum, they want to be the best 4 players on the fucking server. They're gonna do everything they can to form the best team, to take advantage of every single thing they can. And then we have other 4 players that don't give a shit about being first or the best. They're just gonna play the game because they like how the game plays, and they enjoy playing the game, you know? So that's my personal opinion. I don't think there's really gonna be a meta or anything like that.
I definitely agree with you. I think it's really just going to depend on like how you want stances surrounding how you play in the.
I personally think a lot of people are going to have maxed out intel simply because you can't adjust your intel attribute beyond character creation at the moment.
Yeah. I definitely think a lot of people are going to go for that.
But I think that's going to change soon enough.
Honestly, I'm going to be honest. I'm definitely going to max out intel because the rest of my attributes can dynamically change. Like, I can just work to get them better. The intelligence, I can't.
Exactly.
I think, like, right now, since you can,
process as
yeah,
well.
I think there's going to be a mass amount, in terms of just the attributes itself, not the skills, there's going to be a mass amount of people who are like, I maxed out my intelligence. Yeah, now I just need to work on building my character up. Like, because, I mean, if you can't get intelligence up, why would you not move it up right now, you know?
Am I
And the next thing you know, there's
seriously
going to be a noob that comes in with absolutely nothing in Intel going, fuck.
You serious?
Syntax. He's like, come on, guys. Am I really the intelligence when this game releases?
I literally will have one.
Oh my god.
I don't give a shit. I want strength, endurance, and dexterity to be able to hold
okay.
much items as
Okay, I'm just saying, if we all play it together, you're gonna see just 3 people like huffing it, trying to run, sprinting like a cheetah across the field.
Well, it's gonna be the 3 intelligent men and the dumb person who's the tank.
You know, the funny thing is,
we're just walking around, Syntax running up front, gets killed. Okay, we don't go that way.
No, see, the funny thing is, what's gonna happen is we're intelligent, but Syntax is really gonna be the smartest person in the group when it comes to things.
Well, and Syntax is also going to be the one with the highest skill level, because he's the one surviving. Well, we are just thinking about all the things we could do in the future.
He's gonna be like that hardcore vet and just be like, you guys don't know what it's like to survive in the wilderness. You guys are just a bunch of pansies. Man up.
And then one of us stealth kills him.
Yeah. just Ice Gaming agrees with 3 of us. That's my plan. I'm gonna max Intel, learning and cooking, and I can just bodybuild with good food and nutrition and get ripped as fuck and be hella smart.
Okay, one thing I do gotta point out though, this is very important. Skills and actually spending a lot of time in the survival is they plan to get your skills to max level is gonna take about 100+ hours. So just remember that, everybody.
So with that,
that's the goal.
About
what do you guys
10 plus or
focuses are going to be when it comes to the individual skills?
I'm sorry, there's 2 questions there.
Is there a particular interest when it comes to a skill you want to try and get up more than any of the other skills?
Programming and electronics when it comes out.
Yeah, when it comes out, but I'm talking on launch.
Let me see. I'll just check out the skills that I have right now.
anything that helps me hoard more items. That's me.
Okay, so stealth, throwing, awareness, sniping, medical, camouflage, tactics, cooking, and survival are the ones that are out. So
post it in Discord for fuck's sake.
I think
I did.
survival.
It's in Discord.
But the one in Discord only shows the Dex and Intel. It doesn't show the other 2 attributes.
Oh, okay. 1 second. I can grab this. I got this.
I'll leave the stream running, but I'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right.
Okay, yeah.
So for those of you watching
continue?
my stream, just chill with the rest of the guys in their discussion, and I'll join in a couple of seconds again.
Okay, man.
Personally,
Okay.
I'll probably go for camouflage. And I don't know how tactics work. Which one was the...
It's going to be an interesting one.
I'm bloody...
I thought tactics was the one that they used for when people ran into buildings.
No, that was part of awareness.
Oh, really? I thought awareness was just a blur.
But tactics was as well. Kadesh, thanks for following, mate. But the thing is, I'm also as a hoarder. That's basically what I want to do, which goes quite well with the idea of being a trader in safe zones, you know? So I have to reread again to see what tactics and awareness do for
Yeah, tactics is part of the wall hack is part of tactics.
And
well, at least it used to be. Now they don't have to.
Yeah, now it's not there.
But the item highlighting, the green outline of items when you get close to them is then also part of tactics, right?
I thought that was awareness because you're.
I believe that was awareness, but you know, I'm actually gonna have to look up and try to figure this out. There we go. I'll look this up while you guys continue talking about it.
But yeah, with my maxed out Intel, I think I'm probably going to max out my cooking or medic. I haven't decided which one yet. And then put 1 point into each one of the other ones that's on there.
Okay, so basically you're gonna cook all the shit that I hoard. Nice.
I make you good food!
Chef, Gordon Ramsay, is that who it is?
What the hell? You did it wrong!
Penetrator, welcome. And thanks for the follow.
And then I think survival is where the hunting comes into play.
Like how fast you skin things, because I know you'll be able to cut them up into pieces, and they're gonna give you about at least some realistic point of meat that drops.
Well, I was talking more in lines of animal tracking.
Oh, okay.
Animal tracking, that's gonna be good for you three folks because of intelligence. Wait, so tactics is a part of intelligence. What about awareness? Is it also?
Awareness, I believe that's a separate thing. Or, you know, this whole might be...
It is.
Awareness is under the intel skill, yes.
Yeah, so basically the three of you are gonna be awesome at survival, tactics, awareness. So you're gonna do all the tracking and shit. I'm just gonna be the buff guy that's hoarding everything.
Yeah, you're gonna be the guy. So you're gonna be the guy we're putting in front.
Backpack dude.
Yeah, you're the
You'll
guy.
be the bullet sponge, okay?
Yeah.
Although honestly, since this is based on
I want to correct that to the bullet magnet.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, let's just picture it this way. Ready? Say somebody comes up and they have a gun, and three skinny people.
Dude, your audio cut out again.
No.
You were building up the point, and we're like, imagine, and then.
Okay, does that sound better now? Good? Good?
Okay, try again.
Am I good now?
Yeah.
Yes, you.
Yeah.
Okay. So pretty much what I was saying, say some guy comes out with a gun, and all four building, and he comes out. Did he do it again? Oh my god. Oh my god.
I just took a sip of my soda. The amount of discipline I had to hold in to not spray my computer full of soda, thanks to you.
Oh, dude, you got more discipline
Okay.
than me. Oh my god.
Am I good now?
Yeah.
For now, yes. Try
Just
again.
imagine he comes out of the house.
Okay.
He's looking at all four of us.
Okay.
Okay. And he's like, who am I going to shoot? Obviously, the biggest person there who looks ripped and is carrying all the gear. Not the three skinny dudes who are sitting there hiding behind him.
But the problem is
we're
we're
all
gonna have
using
to
him as shelter and cover while we all get ready in our sniping position behind him.
Not to mention the added bonus of we can just put, Syntax Toxie on a couple of sticks and we'll have a roof over our heads.
Just sit there. We need to put the tent on top of him. We can just kind of sit under it.
No, he can take it. He's a big guy. He can take it.
Syntax right now, he's like, I don't know if I want to play with you guys. You can just picture the bad moments.
Actually, all of this is making it more fun for me.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
As I mentioned in Discord, the first bloody thing I'm gonna do when I start the game up, take my pants off, run around on the coast, and try to find a small island off of the shore of the main island. And also, I'm gonna scream weirdness at every single newbie spawned person I come across.
Okay. Okay, other than that, I think when I first spawn in, I'm not going to take my pants off. And I'm going to use the intelligence that I put my skill into. All my points and be like, I'm going to find my group.
I mean,
well, let's group up.
I on the other hand, am not going to solely focus on the skills of intelligence that I've accumulated in the game at startup. I'm also going to be relying on the intelligence that my parents skilled into when I got born and say, hey, what up, Chaotic and Syntax and Slave to the Games? What up? You guys want to team up?
Well, apparently only three of us are going to do that.
I didn't say I ain't gonna do it, just not with the first character itself. You have to mark
just keep in mind, they only have local chat, so...
We can use Discord, though. Yeah,
Yeah, true.
Keep in mind, though, we have local chat, and it cancels you out from using Discord, so...
That would be so brutal if they implemented that.
God, that would be. Can you imagine trying to find people?
Yes, you have to find people. You can't, when you go to join the game, you have to find each other to be able to group up. You won't be able to immediately see each other before you spawn in the server.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Or one question that got bigger by... Yeah. It's Just Ice Gaming has taken over for Stuart and Puggles from earlier, and is asking another question. How do you guys feel about mega clans that exist in Rust and other survival games? Obviously, numbers are always going to be good, but do you think a solo player will be able to succeed? Or will clans run the server? I know they have talked about a bit about this, but I'm still worried about the existence of big groups blocking off an entire area.
I can actually answer this. I read in one of the development replies that as far as clans or groups goes, they don't want at least right now, they don't want the group to be bigger than 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes alliances and everything.
So does that mean with an Intel of 5, you'll only be able to have a group of 8 people?
But no. You'll be able to have a group of 8 people, including yourself, like no matter what. It's just, in terms of building a clan or a group or a team to play with, they don't want you exceeding 8 people or allying with more. Like, say you have 8 people in your team, that's your max. You can't ally with another person, another team, or anything. Like, your 8 people is what they want people to be at. But they are also talking about possibly expanding the server sizes to 100 and then maybe more if people really want that. And once they're done optimizing how it is with 64, so they could also increase how many people could be in a clan then. And also, because everything's susceptible to change, they could completely throw this out the window, and it could be like Ark, where just any amount of people could, group up.
Honestly, I like the system they have in place that limits how big the sizes can be, because with the Intel determining how big a group you can make,
but
that makes it
stopping you from forming a larger group?
I'm not certain. Maybe, honestly, I could just maybe they'll send stuff after you.
Right now, what they have in place is your Intel score, the leader's Intel score will determine how many people can group up with them.
But how
will they be able to track that, though? Exactly. That's what he's asking.
Even if
the game will only let you say add to group so many times until you have.
But why would I even have to add somebody?
Yeah. What if they just sit there?
We can simply group up together, the 20 of us, let's say.
And then verbal agreement.
Yeah.
We don't need to actually record it. Well, I mean,
so far as I'm aware, they don't have anything in place to...
Yeah, maybe... here's what I think, actually. They might be able to do something here. Like, say we make an 8-man group, right? And then we group up with another 8-man. And somebody catches us. Like a person, they just sees us working together. It's like, oh crap, they're working together. And then they report us on the easy anti-cheat that they're using. They'll actually be able to track that, and maybe they'll somehow be able to figure out if we're actually working together. Like maybe if they clip a video and show that we're working together or some crap. Like, I don't know.
Stop.
Well, actually,
there's ways around that.
Having two
to the point of
together.
contacting the devs, what I'm thinking is they could implement a system where utilizing the BCU's tracking monitors makes it so that they can see where each of us is on the island at the same time. And if there's too large of a group in one particular area, they'll see that as that group is all one large group working together.
Okay, what were you going to say,
so they'll punish everybody that's in that group.
I believe, first and foremost, that just because I want to have a larger group, I want to have a larger clan or whatever the hell I want to do in the game, like that, shouldn't be punished. Literally, why would I have to be punished because I want to have a larger group? But the only countermeasure that I could possibly agree with is, let's say, sending a SWAT team after you if they confirm.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
If they confirm that it's 2 groups actually working together, because there's also another problem. What if 2 groups spot each other and they open fire on each other? Unless they use a drone or some shit to actually see what's happening, they don't know. Or if let's say our team meets another team, we decide to have a ceasefire. So we are neither friendly.
We're not actually with them.
Enemy, Yeah,
it's really. I get what you're saying. Like it's a problem. What you're saying is it's going to be really hard. Like you can't just you can't just be like, okay, these guys are working together. That only that one time we did it.
Well, with the drones, they have a system in place where they can monitor how people are grouping up together and whatnot, and they can monitor how long people are grouped up. For example, if, as you said, 2 groups find each other and have a ceasefire, yeah, that's a large group in a small area, but
how do I sound, guys?
Good.
Do I sound fine?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
you sound good.
Unplug that mic.
Just want to point out.
With that in mind, what I was thinking when it comes to punishing is them sticking like 3 or 4 Mr. Smiles on the group.
Exactly.
Okay.
Send them in from different directions just to try and split up the group, kind of thing.
Just Ice Gaming is actually, to some degree, agreeing with you, with no out of the game banning, but rather sticking the game against you, sort of like attacked by sentries or similar things.
Honestly, I think that since there is no, and I'm going to say there is no accurate way and completely plausible way to easily track who's working together and who isn't all the time, that if people are doing that, I think that they shouldn't limit how much people are in a group. And if they do, because this might actually be a cool feature, they should keep the limit as just kind of like a base limit, but name only, and make it to where if people do work together, do what he said and send something that's really hard to fight against, so that it kind of tries to deter people from doing that. But say if these people can actually fight back, they should get punished more than fighting them. Makes sense to anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I think the punishment should be the fact that they send really hard things that can easily kill you. And if you succeed, then you should be rewarded by being able to stay as a team, or maybe constantly be attacked by certain things on a periodic basis.
Have it kind of like a mini unauthorized event kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, because we're prisoners, we're supposed to go against the. We're either supposed to work for, or just survive, or go against and try to escape. I mean, it makes sense lore-wise that people would gang up into such a big group.
Well, actually, I could see them implementing a system where you get more rebel points because of doing something like that.
Okay.
Stick in a box. Stick in a box, actually. Not sure where, but the devs have stated that they can send in like a PMC group to hunt down players. By assumption is that they will be AI.
Okay. They can also do that with players too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, with a bounty system, exactly.
Yeah, the bounty, because they play
sure.
something. And also, I didn't know why I think of that. Because remember how earlier I said people who are camping or trolling, they can actually lose fame points. They can also just take fame from people who are doing that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, punish them
Also,
directly by taking away their fame points.
A question I have for everybody: what do you guys think about being able to use your own fame points to revive your teammate or another player?
That would
but
be
have it
very
have
nice.
it be slightly more expensive than if you did it to yourself.
Honestly, I think they should implement it where you can, but make it so it's like double the cost, so you have to really think about it.
Yeah.
So
what do you think about that?
I agree with Chaotic that it's a great system, but it has to be expensive enough for you to actually feel like it really hurts to help your friend.
Not just be able to waste the points, or like if you have a bunch, just be able to do it on like 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you can if you've got like 20,000 points.
Yeah.
But...
Okay, how do you guys feel, unless you have a question, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay,
Nope.
How do you guys feel about how vehicles are going to be implemented in the game eventually after EA comes around? There's not going to be quick travel, just so you know, because obviously they create a lot of problems with chaos. And yeah, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the vehicles?
I think vehicles could be great. I'm just afraid that they will be overpowered.
My only problem with vehicles at the moment is that with the skills being locked, so you can't put points into them in advance of making your character.
I'm assuming driving.
It's going to make it a little problematic once they come out.
Well, I'm assuming that driving comes with obviously anything that you can drive on land, and then piloting is for like helicopters and maybe planes. I'm going to stick to just helicopters for now. And then sailing is obviously boats. But my question is if you can pilot things, can't you just fly out of the place?
But not if they have a what's it called?
Missiles to shoot you down or something.
No, I'm thinking a kill switch.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
if
they
you
do
don't
actually
fly
have that.
and
It is
gets
part of the
out
lore.
range, it just drops out of the sky,
Yeah.
kind of.
That's
Thing.
a
It is
fucking
actually part of the
brilliant
lore.
idea.
Yeah, that's actually part of their lore. They actually can do that. Also, if you tamper with it and say you try tampering with the BCU, it's actually been explained in one that I read that it can actually explode if you don't do it right.
In other words,
that might have to do with the
will be
programming
heavily
electronics.
valued.
Also, just so you know, if you take the BCU out, your HUD's gonna go with it, leaving only the basic stuff.
Yeah, so you're gonna lose your menu and everything.
I don't know if you lose the menu. I'm pretty sure you'll keep the menu and maybe like the stomach and like health, but that's it. Like 99% of everything you have is explained in the lore because of the BCU. So taking it away, they didn't want to make it like completely hardcore to the point where like you don't know what the hell's going on, but they wanted to make it to that's pretty much the point. Like you only have a basic understanding of what's going on.
But it will take away your metabolism info.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Can I?
Far as I
Go ahead, Syntax.
go on.
Yeah.
As far as I understood, the health, stamina, hunger, and thirst will remain. Your inventory will obviously remain, but all of your skill, metabolism windows will literally go away.
Yep.
Not sure about the skill ones, but I think that, yeah, they also.
I also think that there'd be no point in doing that though, unless you're trying to go for, you're a really hardcore person, you're like, I want to be as hardcore as possible, or it's something to do with the story where you have to do it at the end, you know, where it's the only way to escape the island.
Well, I think with the kill switch idea, having like a little detonation inside of the BCU makes sense. Where instead of, say, it's dropping out of the sky because the engine dies when it comes to flying a plane, if a person with a BCU tries to leave the island and gets too far out of the proximity, it will literally detonate.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I don't know if you guys know, but when your character dies, he'll actually come back as the puppet on the island, and you can actually find him, kill him, and take your loot back.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why they said you're basically creating a clone of yourself when you respawn.
And there's going to be, at least right now, these are just two quick things. There's eventually going to be controller support. They want to be able to do that. And as far as VR goes, they don't have plans for it at all right now. But I mean, like they said with a bunch of other things, if it becomes a really popular demand, they may, and this is a really heavy may, start looking into that.
Well, you never know. There might be another company or just even a standalone person that might implement a third-party VR setup for it.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking about the Scum company itself and the developers. Them, like, I don't know too much about third-party people.
Kind of like what some of the people did with Minecraft when VR first came out, kind of thing.
I still think VR would be too.
I don't think it would be good for the game.
Yeah, it would be too complex and clumsy. Better said.
I think that if they did do it, they would have to dumb down a lot of what makes the game great, or at least what is going to make the game great, in my opinion. Because VR is good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fun to play in, it's fun to mess around in. But for a game as complex as Scum, to put VR into it, you're gonna have to pretty much, and I don't want to say revamp the game, but you're gonna have to pretty much revamp the game and change a ton to be able to make it work in VR.
Personally, I think that amount of resources would be better used at either improving upon the game they already have with Scum or moving on to the next title.
I definitely agree. Oh,
actually, a Scum 2.0 would be pretty interesting if they release it as like a main VR implementation kind of thing.
Yeah, and
as you were saying,
the only way I could see VR happening for Scum is if they only included the goggles themselves. So you could simply look around.
Okay, yeah, just to like do the alt button when you like look to the side.
Yeah, that basically.
Okay, I can see that. If that was the only way that they used it, I think it could work then.
Exactly. But no controllers or motion sensors.
Like literally, you just use it to look around and you play with the keyboard and controller stuff. Although that'd be hard because how the hell would you see the keys? You'd have to memorize them all. Never mind.
Plus, you'd also have to have some problems trying to look behind you as well.
Well, you could look.
That's why you have controllers.
Well, with VR, you're not using the mouse to pan. Your actual head moving left to right is how you pan.
Okay.
But you have controllers to use.
Not as much a question as a comment. Stuart, of course, before was all about the pain of oneself. But Just Ice is now also joined his ranks with, alright, the main plan here is to remove my BCU, then force people onto my plane who still has one, and blow them up. Rinse and repeat.
Wow, okay.
Great plan.
Oh my God,
Works everywhere.
Awesome.
Looks like you need a lift.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, off the island. Have fun. Gets out of range,
expand
planes
on,
start to drop, all their heads blow up, you jump out with a parachute.
To expand on tracking animals, you're also going to be able to eventually track people as well.
Which is going to be awesome.
Oh, that's going to be very nice.
I think that's pretty cool.
I cannot wait to track down Syntax Toxie and just be like, sorry, mate. My stealth skill is great enough for me to sneak upon you, and you know, you're big enough and clumsy enough. Well, you'll fall fast and hard.
Don't forget, putting one in incel, which means his awareness is going to suck like crazy.
I actually have a comment from a dev concerning a chain of bad decisions, and this is exactly what they say word for word. They say, yes, a chain of bad decisions is going to punish your character. Not to the point that it will be impossible to recover, but certainly to the point that it's going to be really hard to climb back up to what you were previously at. I don't know exactly what that means, but this is talking about your character who's currently alive and not died. Like, not dead or died at all.
Maybe that would be stuff like what Just Ice Gaming was talking about with, you know, putting people on their planes and flying them out to safety.
Come with me. I'm trustworthy.
Yeah.
I don't have any bad reviews.
He's gonna be the person who sits there and he's gonna hide in the woods, like at the airport, and people are gonna come. He's just gonna slink out and be like, "I heard you need a lift." I can just imagine
the Yelp reviews that, you know, Just Ice Gaming Airlines is gonna get.
Oh no, Syntax is at it again.
5 out of 5 blew me away.
You'll get a free meal containing a lot of lead on your journey, but don't worry. We also have the capability of healing you afterwards.
Happy ending guaranteed.
Yeah.
Okay, so another fact is you're actually going to be able to break limbs in this game.
Just a little detour towards breaking limbs, I take it?
Yeah, I went right to the next thing. Don't leave me behind. If I ever break a leg, literally, come on. We got Syntax. You can pick me up and carry me. You're going to be the big buff meaty guy. Oh, speaking of that, that's actually a feature they're actually talking about implementing.
That would be awesome.
Being able to pick up one of your allies and walk around with them on their back.
It's not confirmed, but it's confirmed that they're thinking about implementing into the game.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool.
I believe honestly that sooner or later it's gonna be implemented because it's only natural to be able to help your comrades or whatnot. But let's put it like this: it's either me carrying a shit ton of loot in the backpack,
we're carrying everybody,
or your scrawny ass.
I choose me.
They should make it to where you can carry 3 people. Just see a guy sprinting like majestically across the field. Come on, guys, I got you. We'll be fine.
Well, it might actually be possible if you have a fully strength maxed. What?
I was going to continue after you were done talking. I was giving you your time to speak.
It might actually be in the game at a certain point, because if you think about it, if you have a person with maximum strength and you have 2 other people that are, let's say, intelligence and dexterity based, they will be quite light for the most part.
Yeah.
So it might be possible.
Obviously, it'll increase your weight.
Exactly, because it's probably gonna be weight based. So the harder the ally you're trying to carry, the heavier the ally you're trying to carry will be, the more gear you will have to probably leave behind in order to be able to actually pick him up and carry him around.
I also have two things down. I came up with two. The first one going with the medic skills. Like, do you think that you're going to actually be able to heal other people or treat their injuries too?
Of course.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because it's always been confirmed with yourself, but I mean, it's never actually been word for word said you'll be able to heal other people.
No, but based upon the realism and the detail that has gone into Scum, not being able to treat your comrades, then that
you don't even have to go inside the realism of the game. You simply have to watch a few videos of the devs saying that medics are gonna be sought after.
Oh yes, we shall be heavily sought after.
It was mentioned that you will need medics, you will need great cooks. So yeah, you'll be able to.
How about sadistic people like me? Are they sought after?
To get away from, I guess. But
I'm sure you can find a group of trolls.
Yeah, well, Just Size Gaming, you heard that? We guys have to stick together. But yeah, I got a couple of things from the chat here.
Okay.
I'm going to completely butcher this name out of proportions. Theophanis Staphyllitis. It is very terrible. It's possibly.
Don't worry, you nailed it.
Yeah, thanks.
You nailed it.
It really sucks that I wasn't able to pronounce that name because he said, or she said, great work, guys. Worthy of note. Also, they go on to talk about, do we know anything about the release time? Not the date, but the time of day. So, the 29th of August, of course, but...
Yeah, there's been no word on that so far.
Could we speculate on it?
I mean, I would say afternoon.
I did
afternoon to the midnight release on the 28th. So, anytime between the midnight release all the way to the afternoon.
I did a speculation video on the release date the day before they released the release date trailer, and I horribly missed.
What did you get? You gotta explain it now.
When does the Gamescom end? 20.
I have no idea.
Third?
I think it's like the 25th or something.
Yeah, it's on the 26th. I guessed I guessed the 24th or the 31st. And both were wrong. It was in the middle though. It was pretty smack in the middle, but yeah.
I have a feeling they were wanting to troll the people that thought it'd be the end of the month or thought it would be that, so they decided to go somewhere in between.
I was aiming for a Friday.
Okay, well you got a Wednesday, so
yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of odd that they are doing it in the middle of the week, to be honest.
Yeah, normally games come on Tuesday, but you know, I'm not the game developer.
No.
Yeah.
Also,
guys, I'll be right back.
Sure.
Okay.
You guys keep doing what you're doing. I'll have my stream keep going.
Okay.
I think the game will release like I don't want to say what I think.
You're like, it's gonna release at 2:31 p.m.
Yeah.
Comes out at like 1:30.
2:31:30.
He doesn't want to say it because if you say it, people are gonna hang on that, and then they're gonna be like, "Hey."
Yeah. Unsub.
That's why you play it safe. Midnight release all the way to 2. Hey, don't brag about that. That's a real problem.
No, all right. If I were to guess, I would say noon.
Personally, I would say it's gonna be more of a morning release from like I don't know, midnight to maybe 10 a.m.
Okay, well fine. If somebody's gonna try to be specific here, then I'm gonna say 11 a.m.
I want to specify that I'm
8 a.m. for me.
saying noon, Florida time, or
Texas 5
or 6 European GMT +1.
Alan?
You have to keep in mind also that both me and Keg are at the same time zone as the devs.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna have to say that I guess it'd be somewhere generally anywhere from early morning to a little bit after afternoon.
No, it's either 5 or 6 our time. Like GMT +1.
I'm talking about our time anyway, but then again, we have to take in mind that our predictions are for not, because the times will be different for people in different zones.
No, but I'm expecting that I will be equally wrong / right on this one as I was on my release date speculations. Meaning we'll hit in the middle, which is 5:30 p.m. or 17:30.
Well, as long as it doesn't get to the point where we're like a few days from the release, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Well, you know what? We're gonna wait an extra week or two to release the game." As long as they don't do that, they can release it any time of that day.
Imagine if there were problems with the servers.
Sorry, we're actually gonna release it in December, guys.
Because server problems has never ever happened in a multiplayer game before. We got some more from I'm gonna say Theo now because he said Theo is fine. First of all, I said the name perfectly, so thank you very much.
Pat yourself on the back for that.
Yeah, he even said so. He says that I think it's crucial to get first to major POIs or points of interest in times before people start heavily fortifying them. And I was thinking we could possibly discuss this a little. Like, what do you guys think? Obviously, it would have to be a building which you have to fortify because you can't fortify or make structures yourself.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, when it comes to like the major points of interest in the game, if you're gonna run there, like I said, there's going to be at least puppets there. At the very least, puppets at that area you need to clear out before you can actually use this area. Now, there could be more, because honestly, all I know is that there's puppets, drones, and a robot. There's probably going to be more than just those things.
Yeah.
And
also, it's been
they're going to be guarding this area.
Also, it's been said that they can send SWAT teams and such after players, so it would be awesome if we could come across a actual base of that SWAT response unit,
There actually will be military compounds and shelters in the game. So what I'm assuming, and I'm going to assume, because I hope, that these military bases and these compounds, they're not going to be easy. Like, a group of 4 people aren't just going to be able to just easily just take it out and then take control. Like, I want it to be actually, I would like it to be a struggle to obtain the biggest base, the hardest place to obtain. I want it to actually be something where you'd struggle to get it, and then you have to hold it. Like, that would actually make it feel like, wow, we just did that. We accomplished it. It'd feel more than if you just walked in and say, in this fort, there's like 4 BCU puppets, and then you just take them out and you own the place. There you go. Like, it would be a little bit anticlimactic.
Don't forget, they've also stated that off-limits places will have Mr. Smiley's guarding them quite heavily.
Well, yeah, but we're talking about like the fortifications that you can take over that are not. So, like, maybe you can take over place and off limits, but basically just the points of interest that you can go over to fortify.
Oh, no, I was just talking, like, with the whole military base and the SWAT thing, where they're coming from would probably be an off-limits place. In other words, there's probably going to be a lot of Mr. Smiles there.
Yeah.
I guess you could say, I just hope the AI in this is a lot more than in other survival games, where there's actually, like, when it's PvP, it actually feels like it. Not just PvP with occasional E, that you just occasionally stumble across. Like, I want to feel like the only threat isn't players. Like, I actually have to worry about these puppets or something, like, other than just being some background thing that they just randomly throw in 1 or 2 in this world. Like, I really hope they put a decent amount enough in there.
I want to say that based upon the puppies from yesterday's development stream,
the puppies?
Yeah, the puppies. I'm going to call them the puppies.
The puppies?
They're called puppies.
They're called it now.
Puppies.
Yeah.
Puppies now.
Based upon what we saw yesterday, I'm not really scared about those.
Me either.
They didn't look all that scary, and I hope that they can buff them up somehow. And they talked about, using the BCU for that.
Along that, I can't defend them in a certain way, because they did, there was one that I read that one of the developers ended up saying that they kind of wanted to make sure that they can put as much as they can right now in at a basic level. And then over time, since it's early access, upgrade the AI, upgrade what they're going to be able to do, upgrade the amount of AI you're going to be able to run into, and etc. Like, they want to be able to put the basics in and then expand from there. Which, since it's early access and that's basically how games are nowadays, I can agree with this, because I, in my opinion, believe that everything should be optimized stage by stage, step by step, so that when they move forward, they're not leaving loopholes and things that are going to cause problems later on. I want them to be able to make sure that this game turns out great, because I think this game has a lot of potential. And I think if they really work hard at this, that this will be an amazing game, and in my opinion, probably one of the best survival games I will enjoy myself.
Yeah, I know. Based on the mechanics of this game, I think it's definitely going to be a precedent setter when it comes to upcoming survival games in the future.
Yeah. I was when DayZ the mod came out and was big thing, everyone played it. I was like, oh, so stoked for the standalone. It failed, and Scum sort of feels like the answer to all my prayers that I had back then.
But then you also got to be afraid because, like, don't get me wrong, 99% of me is all gung-ho for this game. And it's die hard. I'm already going to play it. I'm going to be on it day one. Like, I know this. But there's still that worry, and I'm like, but what if it does the same thing that DayZ did?
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to think, like, it's possible. It's a really realistic thing that could happen, and I really don't want it to, because this seems like it could. It seems like it's already taken steps that DayZ hasn't, and it seems like it could, like he said, become the new
milestone benchmark
for survival. There we go, benchmark, new benchmark for survival games. Thank you. I was struggling there.
You have to.
Yeah, the word I was using before was precedence, but
yeah, I'm just pointing out that you are a native English-speaking person. I'm not.
It's fine. I mean, I'll use whatever word gonna fit this sentence. As you were saying, Sentek.
You have to keep in mind that also this game, in like its first release, which is early access, is already a shit ton more advanced than DayZ is in what, 5 years?
Now, yeah.
Yeah, so
I agree.
Plus, with comparing this to DayZ, how much did DayZ cost at day one?
I don't
think I
remember.
got it for $35.
$35, and this is coming out at $20. The price difference is great when it comes to.
And you're actually getting more than you did get with DayZ.
Honestly,
sure.
but the thing is,
I'm definitely a lot better.
I'm thinking the exact same thing now that I was back when DayZ released, where I don't give a crap what the game costs. I'm gonna buy it anyways.
For me, like, honestly, like, I like playing devil's advocate. I like being able to play the bad side and the good side, because, like, I know what I like about the game and what I want about the game, but I like also looking at it from the other perspective. And I don't mind spending spending the $20 that this game has, etc. Like, it's $20. Like, if it fails, at least, like, I'm still gonna get the enjoyment that I think is worth that $20. But I like to think, well, okay, it has so much promise. It has so much potential. It has so much that this could be. Like, this could literally become the benchmark, as you said, of survival games. And the thing is with this is, it's the same thing that people have thought with DayZ. Like, people were like, DayZ is going to be so much bigger, but, like, it lasted, like, what, like 2 or 3 years before it was, like, another 5 years or 3 years that nothing really happened. And then it died out. Like, if I go on to DayZ right now, one server is going to say medium, the rest are going to say low and be empty. I don't want this to turn out like that.
The thing
when it comes to this game, what I think is going to make it precedent setting or benchmarking isn't necessarily going to be the gameplay. What I believe is going to be benchmarking revolutionary about this game is the whole metabolism system. Well, what I mean is the metabolism UI that they have set up to implement that into a survival game has yet to be done. This is the first time a game has come out that has implemented that aspect of survival.
So the benchmark is gonna be that you have to be a fucking doctor to understand how to UIs.
Well, see,
I'm talking with adding to the realism.
I have to disagree with that because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that this is in the game. I think it's great. I definitely think it's an improvement. But I think the game as a whole, if it succeeds in, like, everything we've heard of right now, like everything we've listed off in this whole entire stream, if it succeeds in all that, and then the stuff we put out for our videos on YouTube or what we streamed on Twitch, if it just succeeds at this stuff, not anything else after that, it would still already beat and be better than DayZ. It would still be the game that I would want it to be when I spend the money or get it. It's just when games like this come out, you get that expectation where like, well, how much better can it get? Like, what more are they going to do? How long are they going to be with it? And they've already stated that they're going to be with it for as long as the community wants them to. And now this could vary from, well, DayZ's developers and how well they did with updating and putting stuff into the game.
Oh, they're still updating it.
Yeah, and then how Ark Survival Evolved does it. And like DayZ's like updates, they update.
DayZ
but they don't really
update.
Beta yet. And then, like, let's use Ark for example. They update frequently, and new content's always coming out, and they're constantly fixing. Like, that's how I want the developers for Scum to react to this. I want them to constantly be working on this and constantly improving. Because if they do that, it's not only going to show that they actually care about how this game is going, but it's going to show that they actually want the game to turn out what they're like, how they're saying the game's going to turn out. They're not just saying what they want us to hear for us to buy the game, and then after we buy it, they just leave it in that state or do a few updates until it runs out of its popularity, if it does, and then just leave it. Like, I want them to be able to continue building for at least a couple of years on this.
Sure.
But I don't know if I'm saying this right or not, but I think all of us are in agreement that none of us want this game to turn into the next No Man's Sky.
Well, actually, even No Man's Sky has had its
the
update
day
with
one No Man's Sky.
Okay, there we go.
I also want to point out that the last status update for DayZ so far is 14th of August 2018, and it's still a broken game.
What did they even
for the last 5 years?
Who knows? I can read the development log if you want.
No. No. We can do that on our own time.
But I think you also have to keep in mind that GamePire's already created Gas Guzzlers, which, in my opinion, is an awesome arcade racing shooting game, you know? And they are under Crow Team's wing, sort of. Crow Team is their producers. And you have to keep in mind that Crow Team has quite a good name already set for them. And they will want to keep it good. They won't want to soil their good name with failed projects, you know? So, I won't believe that GamePire's will want to disappoint both the players and Crow Team. And I believe that Crow Team won't allow any big mistakes that would possibly, you know, destroy the game and destroy their good reputation so far. Because if you take a look... Go on.
Continue. I'll wait. It's fine.
Because if you look, Crow Team has some great projects. They have some great games that are widely known throughout the world. Mention Serious Sam and, for instance, the latest Telos Principle. To anybody that's at least half a proper gamer, they will know about the game, even though they might not play that genre specifically, you know? So I simply believe that Crow Team themselves won't allow for the game to make big mistakes, if anything else.
Okay. I also agree, but to add on to what I said about the developers saying that they continue working with the game as long as the community asks for it, that also depends on, as they said themselves, the money that they have or available for this game can alter what they're going to be able to do with the game. So that's a big thing for me, is like, because it's said like that, I guess you'd say I'm a pessimist when it comes to things. I look on the worst case scenario before I look at the positive, because then if something happens, obviously I look at the worst, then you know, you get what I'm getting at? Like, I expected the worst, so if anything better than the worst happens, it's a gain for me.
So it essentially depends on how popular the game is when it comes out. If it's really popular, they get a lot more money, and they can implement newer features.
I wanna bring this into something that I know something about from work experience, and that is, you know, the adaptation process of new products going into the market. Not necessarily specifically towards the gaming market or gaming industry, because don't have that much intel about that. But what generally happens is you have the innovators and early adopters who first go in and buy the game or buy the product. And then you have, based upon the amount of early adopters and innovators you get, they spread the word to their friends and to people around them and in their circles. And the more of them you have, the bigger your early majority is going to be, although the curve is still going at a, you know, the curve looks the same regardless, but the amount of people you get in the bubble is going to be bigger, and so on and so forth. So the more people you get from start, the more people you'll get down the line as well.
Well, that's also the reason why they have the early streamer access, because they want to promote the game as much as possible before its actual release, so that people can also see the game, how it's gonna be, and not just play it for an hour and fucking refund the game because they don't like it.
Is there any talk yet of how that's about to be implemented?
What do you mean?
What?
Like, as in how they're going to be giving the streamers...
They just give a key. They give a key out earlier to where they own the game, and they get to play it, I believe, 4 days earlier than everybody else.
Oh, so they're giving keys out then instead of selling them out?
You go to GameSpire.com and you hit contact them, and you message them your link to either your YouTube content creator site or to your Twitch site. And then you can message them about like what you want, and at least that's what I did with one of the developers messaging me and what they told me to do.
I did that as well. I was just curious how they're going to implement giving the stuff out. Because I thought it was a situation where they were giving Steamers early access, but the streamers still had to buy the game.
No. They're actually there was actually this thing that I believe it just ended on the 27th, or like a while ago, or they're going to be ending it on the 27th, where they release who gets it or something like that. Where they'll be releasing who actually got the keys, and then you'll be able to watch them on Twitch or on YouTube.
Oh, that'd be nice.
As far as I know, they told me that the other ones weren't supported, but that could have changed.
Because if they did like a standalone store page website, they'd be able to do an early access where you'd have to sign in.
Yeah, from what I know, like when I talked to one of the developers, Bunny and Iggy to be specific, they ended up directing me to thegamespire.com, and I had to go to contact. I had to send them my links to my Twitch and my YouTube, and then I just wrote a brief message about how it was a small channel, etc., and how it'd be pretty cool if I could do that, and I'd be centering my channel around Scum right now. And I just sent it after that. And whether I get it or not, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I'm going to get it either way, but I mean, it'd be pretty dope if I got it for free, right?
Awesome. We got
no, dude! Imagine if all 4 of us got it.
Oh,
okay. That's too big
if I got it, all right.
Epic.
What would have been a big miracle is if I got it, because I haven't messaged the developers, so that would have meant that they had to found me on YouTube and be like, you know what?
Oh my god!
You know what? I think this completely average gaming dude, he's got it on. I mean, he definitely gonna be MVP in this game. You know, gotta get the MLG players
He's gonna
in there.
be completely average at this game.
I hope you know you can't be good at this game. Okay, you have to be average in every way. You can't make your stats 5. You cannot make it 5. You cannot make it lower than 3.
I don't think you understand the level I'm playing at here. I mean,
completely average.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In every way.
The game with all 1s.
No, because that's not average. He has to be 3 in everything.
When I made my YouTube channel, I was like, how can I best describe my average gaming skills? Or like my general gaming skills?
I bet you just sat there and you were like, well, I'm not the best.
Yeah.
But I'm not the worst.
Well,
so...
I am, but I don't want to point that out to people.
Okay, so what you did is you're like, okay, I'm definitely not the best. I can be considered good. I'm bad, but I'm not going to admit it. So, you know what? Average. Haha.
Here I would have went with the mediocre gamer instead.
Honestly, I went with Slave to the Games because every time a game comes out, I want.
Slave to the Games.
That's my creativity.
Good,
that's my creativity, guys.
And me, I went with Chaotic Rob because you never know what I'm gonna do next.
Yeah, I feel like you're gonna be that one person who occasionally behind in certain times. Might just kind of take you out behind the shed or take you out on the boat deep into the lake and
try to. I'm usually pretty cautious when it comes to those kind of things.
I'm gonna take every chance I can to bang him.
Good luck, man. Good luck. That's all I gotta say is good luck, man.
Seriously, the only person
you better watch your back.
We've gotten a promise need from G.SKILL Gaming, who says if any of you guys get the early access or like pre-release access, I expect a ton of content. to consume before
I'll be streaming at
release.
least a good 12 to 15 hours on day one that I get it.
Yeah, so let's go one by one.
I'm going full out.
Syntax, if you were to get the pre-release access, would you be playing it a lot in the time leading up to release?
Of course, I took a week of vacation from work for this game. So that's the plan.
Don't tell anybody. I'm supposed to be sick.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You're in the middle of the stream. Hope my boss doesn't see this.
So, Slave to the Games is apparently going to be sick. Syntax
No,
is.
I'm not. I was joking.
Oh yeah, okay. He is not. Slave to the Games is not going to be sick for the week.
So
Chaotic, how about you?
I'll be putting out.
Yeah, no, myself, I'm definitely up for streaming quite a bit from day one once I get it.
Yep.
If I get an early access version, phenomenal. It just means I'll be able to stream a couple of days earlier than the rest of the people.
I know specifically if I get it for early access, I mean, if the requirements were to do something special to get it for because I'm already going to do it, is I would already be releasing, I already release a video a day on YouTube. But I'm going to get into Twitch, so I'm going to release that video on YouTube. And then I'm going to stream the whole day playing that damn game.
You guys want to know what's really funny about that comment? Is I literally, today, because of this stream, just broke the 50 follower mark in Twitch.
Woo!
I have completed all of the things I need to do to be able to get affiliated with them.
You know what I succeeded at?
Monetization.
Not turning on the stream.
Yeah. It's not like we
Speaking
spent.
of technical issues, I forgot to turn off the volume on the trailer. So the entire first 2/3 of my stream just has the music from the trailer blaring like there's no tomorrow.
I too had the development stream going full throttle on the audio, so it was set higher than our audio.
What is wrong with you guys?
And my audio. And I got a message on Reddit saying, "Bro, turn the audio of the video off."
Wait.
And I got like 4 comments in the chat saying the same thing.
Was that this video?
Oh no, yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. Wait,
Mine was.
this
The
video?
only reason why I figured it out is because
my
someone typed it in my text chat.
Yeah, me too.
You're my video source.
Am I seriously the only person that did shit right here?
Hey, I tried to do my stuff right. I just couldn't get it to work.
All right. I mean, again, I come back to my name here. Completely average gaming. You should expect some mistakes and
I actually
fails.
have a question for Syntax now that new news has been enlightened to me. Do you have VODs?
What?
Do you have VODs on Twitch enabled where it saves your broadcasts?
No.
No! Wait. Actually, the more important question. Completely average gaming. Do you have VODs enabled? Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
If you had said no, dude. If you had said no, I would have started crying. I was like, you're literally my source to get this video so I can put it on YouTube. Because mine didn't work.
Yeah,
but you know,
can't we just
I'm not gonna give you the footage. I'm gonna copyright the shit out of you.
The problem is, he's trying to get it off of somebody that doesn't have any technical issues.
But can't we just rip it off of my Twitch channel after it goes into video?
No, because once you're streaming it right now, if you don't have VODs enabled, it doesn't save it. So I can't take it off.
But in OBS, do you have it set to record to your stationary device?
No.
Oh, fuck. Okay, never mind.
It's okay. He already has it. We already know that apparently playing and the thing. So I'll just kind of like cut all that out because we have to now.
So you can get the audio from Syntax and the video from me.
Well, I can start the whole entire thing from Completely Average Gaming.
Yeah, that works
too. The problem is you can't because I'm.
Oh yeah, because you're not doing the VOD thing. Damn it!
Oh, he's been playing music too.
It's gonna be muted.
Yeah, so it's fine. It just means that we just Completely Average Gaming and I will just have to cut all the way up to the part where the music stopped and then take that out, and then we'll be fine.
I got a question from Theo here, seeing how we're derailed ever so slightly.
Slightly, yeah.
He says that thank you guys for sharing all this information. Hope to see more like this. Are we still planning on doing the stream we're supposed to be doing today later on this week, or no?
Don't mention much details about that.
At least kept it on the download.
Well, yeah, because we don't have any confirmation on that yet.
Yeah. No,
so we don't want to give any details out.
But are we gonna?
What stream?
Regardless, are we gonna be trying to meet up to stream and do something like this again later on the week, or no?
Oh, okay.
I hope so. Yeah.
If you guys are up for it, yeah, I don't mind.
Definitely.
I mean, the game's not coming out. I just obviously, since I'm on YouTube and I release daily videos, we'll have to plan around that. But I mean, I'll be fine as long as I can still put out my video on YouTube. Like as it stands, I mean, obviously, we won't be able to go for like another 5 hours on the stream. So at some point, I will have to leave, and I hope I get to leave when everybody else leaves.
Personally, the problem would be we started quite late today. It's already 1:30 a.m.
I can tell you, for me, right now, like, I definitely, if you guys are game for it, I will definitely do another thing like this with you guys. I mean,
I'm open
this could be a continued thing that we do maybe like every couple days or something till the game comes out. I don't mind.
We can.
I mean,
we can do it every 2 or 3 days.
I don't want to put. Like I said, I do. It takes a lot of time to find the facts for me specifically that I put in my videos that are 13 minutes long each time I put it out. And it takes a lot of time to make sure I'm finding verified facts. Like I put over like 20 plus something hours in just finding facts alone, and then I have to actually edit the video, render, etc. So,
when it comes to posting videos on YouTube, I can see that being quite time consuming.
What
you're saying? Okay.
One quick question. Do anyone of you have the link for the Discord we're all hanging out in? Easily available?
I have it in my bot.
Just to dig my own belt, could anyone of you just jump onto my live chat and just slam it in the chat function?
Actually, that'd be a good idea. All of us. Let's see.
Or if you could do it in one of yours. And I'll grab it from you. If that's.
What I'll also do is go to Twitch and throw in my YouTube channel. Because that's all I can do for advertising myself.
No,
if you added a link to. You can just pull it from mine. I will get my bot to throw it up.
I've linked it to all of your channels.
Oh, okay.
But let's get back on the topic of what we're supposed to talk about. One last thing though before that.
Okay.
Just Gaming. And all of those other out there watching, we have a Discord hosted by Syntax Toxie, where you can join in and maybe even that guy.
He's this way for me.
Where you can potentially join in and play with us when the game releases, because we intend to be playing more or less together, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When I'm looking that way, it's because that's where my second screen is.
Basically, I guess I'll throw this out right now, since I mean we are pretty much a group right now talking about this. Assuming all of our times line up, etc., like taking out work and other things. Although I'll be honest with you, other than that, my other things will be this. I'm up for gaming and kind of going in with you guys, assuming we all are able to go in. Like I'm assuming some of us will be earlier or later than the others, but I definitely am. I am a fan for joining up and streaming with you guys and kind of having fun.
Yeah,
I have a feeling mine and Slaves will probably be a little bit later in the day compared to the other two. Yeah, I have a feeling mine and Slaves.
Yeah.
I have all intentions of working from home whenever this releases, so yeah.
Okay.
Well, when the game is released, as I said, I am taking a week of vacation, so I'll be definitely there.
I would have to say for me specifically, in terms of like, anybody here watching this stream on my YouTube channel or watching it currently or watching from anyone else's, my involvement in the streaming when the game comes out will be probably a little bit after morning, because I will probably my time that I release videos on YouTube to the morning, to where I use all my editing then and then release it then, so that I can spend the rest of the day streaming.
I will be going gung-ho. I'm gonna... All other things I'm doing on YouTube is just gonna be put on hold and just go... See you when...
Yeah, no, same here. I'm gonna be streaming this exclusively for at least...
For me to be... to be a little bit more specific, the reason why I'm saying I'm putting on another one is because right now I'm doing a series for Scum that releases information daily. And honestly, by the time the game releases, it's probably going to turn into a weekly. But at the point of right now, I'm able to do it daily, and it's all for Scum. Like, information is going to be learned from these videos that you'll be able to find that have been either verified or for future plans. And then I will be doing the streams, in which case you actually see the gameplay of the game. You'll actually be seeing us all play the game, or me just play the game, or any combination of us four.
Yeah. And, you know, the beauty of a game like Scum is that we don't all have to be playing at the exact same time every single... We can meet up during a weekend, then, you know, the American folk do their thing, and then, you know, a few hours later, me and Syntax get on and just fix all the things you broke.
I like how you assume I'm gonna break things. Okay,
no,
honestly,
I didn't break anything. It was all me.
If I have to play with somebody and anyone's gonna be breaking something, we all know it's gonna be Chaotic Rob.
Why?
Because chaotic.
Have you heard him? I'm gonna stealth attack you guys when you're not looking.
Yeah.
He said that like 4 times by now.
Well, you know, there's no such thing as friendly fire in a survival game, so, you know. ...
Oh yeah, a quick random fact, since this is about Scum. You can get uncontrollable diarrhea, and it will show on your clothing.
Not to mention, it will heavily dehydrate you as well, so you got to be careful about that.
Awesome fact. Move on.
Oh, yeah, but anyways, as I was saying, just a real quick thing before we continue. As far as time goes, I probably got like 2 hours to like 2.5 at max for me.
I'm good to go.
Yeah. But like for now, like 2 hours to 2.5 more hours of the stream for me, because I need to.
Oh, this stream I could keep going for at least another 5 hours, no problem.
I want to be able to stay with our group, but at the same time, there's a cutoff I need to go to if it gets too far.
There's gonna be about half an hour of me in this stream alone, because I have work in the morning and it's already nearly 2 a.m.
Oh Jesus! Okay, yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't care. I'm good to go.
Choose to end this off pretty quickly then.
Okay, so then it'll be it's up to you guys. We could continue with 3, or we could end with all of us. It's up to all of us together, I guess.
Why would
I don't mind continuing.
Going without Syntax.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the
you'll go with
only
Syntax?
there's one.
Oh, no, I'm saying the 3 of us could keep going without Syntax once he takes off.
Oh, okay,
there's one troubling part of that though, and that is the fact that.
Hey, I was trying to be nice, Syntax.
there's one.
I was thinking of you.
There's one issue with it, and that is that once Syntax disappears, all of the cameras on the screen is gonna be garbled because I'm using an image mask, which just
I'm leaving.
Oh, you can always pull the video feed from mine for the tail end.
Okay, so pretty much, I guess we should just end it there for like after the half hour. Just end it after another half hour of talking about the game.
Yeah, let's get back to talking about the game for the last half hour then.
Yeah. Okay.
Game.
Syntax is like, he's like listening to us talk about leaving him behind, and he's like,
oh.
Also, I just want to point out that
actually
Just Ice Gaming is saying he's good to go with us for another couple of hours. I'm just saying.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's actually nice to hear.
Well, I can give you this. For your viewers who are saying that they want to continue going, if we leave in the half hour after we start talking again to have that half hour, we can take a small break so that I can do. We can do what we need to get the video ready and everything, and then I can actually finish the video I'm putting out, which will take me about 20 minutes to a half hour. And after that half-hour break, we can come back and kind of do a small thing just to relax and chill and talk about the game again. For the people who can.
That's possible. That's possible.
Sounds good to me, man.
Okay. Well, then let's continue talking about the game for a half hour.
Yeah. So, if anyone in the chat has any questions, throw them in there and roll the debate.
There we go. Okay, so I guess we don't have any questions right now, right? Do we have any questions right now, or should I just throw up a random thing? Because I got something that might interest you guys.
Go.
And that's okay. The fact is you can carry at least 3 large weapons if you have a backpack or additional holsters. You can even carry more than that. Now, the devs are saying that it's going to be like you're going to want to get 1 primary and 1 secondary, but I'm not going to lie, guys. I see a weapon, I'm going to pick up every damn weapon I can. I don't care if it has bullets or not. Because I'm going to sit there and like, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Oh, I don't got bullets. I don't care. This is mine. And I'm going to sprint with all those guns.
It's going to make trading in the game so much easier, having stuff with that high value.
But there's a problem.
What?
All 3 of you decided to be smartasses. And
okay, I get it.
But with that in mind, I'm also planning to have a pretty high strength.
Yeah.
Guys, I saw this. We just give him all the holsters and let him wear all the holsters, combine all the holsters together, and just make him wear a carry.
But how many packs is one person allowed to carry anyways?
I don't know. It said 3 larger weapons and additional stuff when you get it, so.
Oh, no, I mean, like, if we get him to wear 5 or 6 sacks and just make him like a mule kind of thing.
What are you trying to say, Ken?
I don't need to carry all these weapons because I can just, MacGyver a solution to every problem because I'm so smart.
You know what? Screw this. Who needs guns? I'll just pick up a rock or a broom. There we go.
A question. There's come a couple of questions in the chat here.
Okay.
We're gonna start with the simplest or the shortest answer one. Phil, and sorry, Phil, Osetets, or something.
Let's just say Phil.
Phil, yeah. Phil is cool, right?
Yeah, Phil's good.
Are there gonna be zombie herds?
Well, they did say that there's gonna be a horde of zombies at the airport. So
no,
I'm assuming
it's gonna be a horde of puppies.
Oh yeah, sorry, puppies. I forgot about that. It's a horde of puppies. Yep. They're cute and fluffy.
And kill you.
Seriously,
minor detail.
And just a technical detail, they're not zombies in this game, they're puppets.
Yeah, they're puppets, yeah.
Puppets.
But no, they're puppies now. It's changed from now on. We have to get this down.
Yeah, literally, that's gonna be the thing.
And then McSlurry, and see, that was a name I could more or less pronounce, wants to know, what do you guys think of the 64-player limit on each server? We touched upon that briefly earlier as well.
Well,
I like it. Oh, okay, you can go first, yeah.
As I said, in a game like DayZ that has a similar limit of the number of players and has a larger map, when the game used to be full, you could easily come across other people, but since Scum itself is a lot smaller, I'm a bit concerned on how frequent those encounters with other players will be, unfortunately. And if you take a look at the history of these types of games, kill on sight is probably gonna be
the generic
frequent.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that scares me a bit. I think it's quite a lot of people on a small
I guess
map, so.
something to build on from what you're saying is I played Ark before I played Rust. And these are good examples because...
Played what?
What?
What did you play?
Oh, Ark. Goddamn. Ark. Okay, 1 second.
Cool to know that you played before.
You're good. Keep going, keep going.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna wait 1 second. Okay, so I played Ark before I played Rust. And when I was playing... Don't mess with me! Okay, so when I was playing Ark, it had up to 100 people. And that, at points, you could get ganked or trolled a lot. And that was a high point. It could happen a lot. But then when I went to Rust, where you could have like 200, 300, and even on some servers, 500 people, where non-stop you would just spawn in the game, you get killed left and right constantly. Yeah. I really don't want it to turn into a thing where the player is horrible. Because for me, one of my favorite parts about these types of games is player interaction. Being able to see somebody and be like, oh no, don't shoot me, I'll give you this or something. And then you sit there and you kind of wiggle back and forth and you develop a friendship and something like those random interactions you have with players to me.
Don't tell him.
One thing I would actually...
The stream censored him.
Did it really? What did it do?
I
like
think
1 or 2 words here or there. It was funny.
I think a mechanic that could have been super fun is because prisons are usually super populated, right? So one thing that could have been super fun is
only American ones are.
Sure.
Okay, damn.
But you know, mainstream media and all that. So let's focus on the American ones.
Okay.
Or the ones that are not American, like Guantanamo Bay. Did I take it too far?
American.
But yeah,
we'll just stick with the Americans, okay?
Yeah, all right. When a server starts up, or when you restart the server or whatnot, would it be cool if you could have say 200 people there to begin with, and then wait for it. And then the server is limited so that no more can join, and then once you kill people off, they become the puppets, and then it ends up being 64 player server.
Okay, so are you trying to say that like it's a persistent world where, because that's how I would picture that work. Oh my god, it did it again.
Yeah.
5 out of 5 stars on Yelp for my audition here. Thank you very much. Can you hear me again?
Yeah.
Also, we have a question that is connected to what you're about to say. The way the server system will work is weird. You change servers and you lose progress. Asked by
yes, basically you won't be able to server hop, but they are looking into the future, being able to transfer your character from one server to another, but then have it be a diminished version of your previous person. It's not going to be input right off. At the beginning, you won't be able to go to a new server and then have your same character that you brought from like 2.16 to 2.17. It'll be a completely new character.
And I seriously doubt you'll be able to port your gear over to the new server as well.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be, let's say you're level 4, you're going to be a level 2 now. Like, just as a basic analogy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm talking like bringing your guns and stuff with you.
Oh, yeah.
I seriously doubt you're not going to be able to do that.
I think that's one thing that Ark did wrong.
I think server hopping would sort of ruin some of the charm of it.
Yep. I mean, because imagine you go into a game, you're fresh, and then there's like I come into the game and I'm like max level, max stats, max everything, and I just sprint across the map and we get into a fist fight. I mean, really, unless you beat me with skill, it's pretty much decided.
You forgot that I bring syntax, so I have a human shield.
You want a fist fight? Grab syntax. Here you go.
Yep.
Here's another one for you, buddy.
You'll have to wind me up like one of those wound-up toys.
How about we do a quick little trade-off there? You take syntax, and I just walk you walk the other way.
It's just gonna be like and then somebody's gonna come out with like an apple and just crush it in his hand.
And then there's me hiding in a bush about 100 yards away with a sniper rifle going, I shall kill whoever survives.
We've got a couple more questions, if you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, I think with those questions, that'd be about the time to wrap it up after that.
All right, I got 2 so far. All right, first one from Just Size Gaming. I have one after you answer that one. Will there be a way to trade gear for fame points at some point, or will hoarding gear just be for using it later?
As far as I know, in the safe havens or zones, you're going to be able to use fame points to buy gear or to purchase certain things. So I'm pretty sure that answers the question.
I think that's opposite of what his question is. He's wondering if you
Or
can sell stuff you find on the island for fame points.
Okay, I'm not too sure about that. I just know that you'll be able to buy stuff from safe havens, so I can't actually answer that then.
Me personally, I think it's going to be more of a situation where the stuff you hoard is for trading goods between players in the game.
Yeah. I would imagine the same thing.
That makes sense.
But I don't know. And then another Phil. No, it's the same Phil. Sorry. Phil of before, the
forgetting
something. Got another question. Will it be possible to restrain player and move them to another place, like kidnap, or like
they actually have that in
hogtie?
development. They actually have that in development where you're going to be able to either use handcuffs or place a bag over a person's head. And they actually hinted in one of the dev replies that there's going to be some form of torture, whatever that's going to entail to your character or not.
We shall all capture Syntax and torture him simultaneously.
Who's gonna carry your bags then?
Okay, it's okay. We just have to fight him one at a time, and eventually, out of the three of us, we might be able to take him down.
Don't let him know the plan.
No. We want him to know the plan so he can prepare for it and give us extra gear.
As long as he doesn't learn how to use weapons, we're good.
Yeah.
Strength and dexterity both dictate.
I mean, by the
Something that
time
would be phenomenal if they implement in the game would be like a beanbag gun, so you could do a stun takedown instead of a kill takedown.
Another thing that would be cool is, once Syntax have mastered the art of fire, we could have some kind of celebration and kill him.
Running around with a torch, I mastered fire!
Comes out, just like, okay, you know what, you have to talk this, you big. Come down now. Fight me.
I'll be back.
I got, you know what, honestly,
dude, man.
there has to be...
Phil also
You do it then!
Phil
Just
also
get to
says,
the chopper if there's a helicopter in the game, okay?
yeah. We could always hire. We could always hire Just Ice Gaming Airlines for the flight.
Yeah, or that.
You know what? That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. Phil also says that he loves the
BCU
torture
chip
part.
on while you go on that flight.
He likes the what?
Oh no, I was just saying, make sure you don't have your BCU chip still implanted when you go on that
No,
flight.
completely
Otherwise, bad
gaming
shit
bit.
will happen.
You said Phil says what?
I have a question. Can one re-implant BCU chips into people who have removed them?
Oh, that's
Can
actually
we?
a good one.
Say,
That has
It's
yet to be
maintained with
discussed anywhere. Because once you get it removed, I think you're pretty much SOL until
I don't
you
know.
die,
Like,
and then you respawn with a new one.
better yet, question on to that is, if you remove your BCU and then a drone happens to fly by and spot you, will they constantly, be like at a Grand Theft Auto 5-star wanted level? Will they constantly sending stuff after you and constantly following you until they put the BCU back in or kill you?
Definitely something that would be very nice to know before the game goes out.
You remember how I suggested that certain players could get a quest to sabotage players nearly escaping? This might be a good thing. This could be the kind of sabotage. Replant the fucking BCU on the head of the...
I honestly think what you said earlier about having other players get a bounty on the people trying to escape, because like you said, people are not going to always want to escape. I think that would be a cool addition. Can you imagine just about escaping and then another player comes up and he's like, surprise.
Yeah.
Words.
Throws a grenade at you, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Oh, God.
But how would it work then? I don't think
Well,
we
with
discussed
fire-
about this. No.
Maybe the
actually
BCU
put a
implemented
record-
it, you can help you track them. Maybe they give you that the privilege to find them.
Well, yeah,
with me.
it lets you track where the BCU was removed, so you can actually find where they were last seen. And if they get
Not what I
spotted
meant.
by any of the...
What did you mean
What
then?
do you mean?
What happens when we die after we've taken the BCU out? It's no longer possible to make a clone because making a clone uses the info from the BCU.
Well, what if the clone
that depends
is
on whether or
from a
not the BCU gets destroyed when it gets taken out. If the BCU is still intact, technically a clone can be made.
Well, not only that, like
But
let's
the
take
clone
this
is
for
made
example.
from older info then.
Let's take this for
Exactly, it's
example.
made from
You know?
the info at the time that the BCU was removed.
So basically, any progress you would have made after taking it out would be lost.
Exactly, yes.
But let's flip the coin a little to something that just Ice Gaming just said. Let's force people to take the BCU out and back in again for hours at a time. Mental torture.
Ah.
But how would that work for the game itself?
Well, it could.
That
It
would
could
need somebody with a really high medical.
Yeah, but
really high hacking and engineering.
Yeah, and
electronics.
You have all the health skills, all the health stats, so you could get like a mental debuff or something. Or
you have to keep in mind that we already discussed on how healing in the game is gonna be quite long. So,
which means torture is going to be that much longer because you have to wait for the person getting tortured.
One thing we have to
up.
One thing we have to look out for too is in the healing and stuff like that. Like, say you need a bandage, a bleeding wound. It's like some healings are gonna take some time, but it's not going to be to the point where, like, say if you need to craft the materials for the medical equipment, or say you get a broken limb, like it's not going to take days to heal. Like they wanted it to. A good way they explained it is in some cases where it wasn't very realistic. For some things, they went with certain things for just the visual appeal of realism over actual realism. Whereas
I know, but the point I'm trying to make is, while let's say you are bleeding, the action of putting a bandage over it might not take a long time.
Yeah.
But the time it takes for you to actually heal or regain the lost blood is gonna take a lot longer time.
Oh yeah,
I definitely agree.
And that's the problem. And that's the problem with taking out and putting back in the BCU constantly. The person it's being done to simply not be able to endure it for long.
That plus you also have to take into account scar tissue from once it's being removed, so it might not be able to be reimplanted as easily.
So I guess now is, do we have any more questions for ending this, considering we only got about 8 minutes until you said that you need to go for sleep? I mean, we can end with some few things to debate about.
We have.
I wasn't literal with when I said half an hour. It was like something around that time.
Oh, okay.
He's just saying it's getting late.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay, so I guess while you look. Oh, you got one.
There is Christian Kuhoofs or something like that.
Yeah.
So what will happen to a player after he logs out? Will the character disappear? Will we just lay down there on the ground? If not, how will we prevent it? Offline rating.
Went over this. Yeah, we went over this earlier, but obviously you weren't here, so I'll re-explain it for you. Basically, what's going to happen is you need to get to a safe spot, or you could just do it anywhere you want, really. And you will click the button to log out, or whatever it is to leave, and it will take you 45 seconds before you can your character actually leaves the game. Eventually, it'll be implemented to where you actually get taken off the island by the drone. But for now, you're just going to have to wait 45 seconds before you can leave, so that people can't Alt F4 off, and to kind of simulate the lore between you not actually being on the island.
Yeah.
So if your power cuts out or your game closes or something like that instantly, you're still going to remain in that game for the 45 seconds or the logout time until the time goes down.
Imagine that you've spent hours creeping up behind Syntax. And then, as you're about to,
my plan's been ruined.
Yeah, and as you're about
Syntax,
to do
make
the finishing blow,
everyone's targeting you.
Syntax turns around and takes you out because your power went out.
The thing I just remembered is, how do we even know how do these persistent servers work exactly? Is it limited to 64 players simply being online at the same time, or is it limited to 64 people?
I can actually explain this one. Basically, it's not limited to 64 people staying in the map. So 64 people log in, nobody else can come in. It's not like that. It's first come, first serve in the servers. So say there's 63 people, us 4 want to get in. Well, we're not all getting in. But say 2 people leave, we can then get in. Like any different amount of characters can go into the game. It's just 64 people can be in a server at a time.
So,
and the world will constantly go on. Think of it similar to Rust or Ark.
I have no idea how Rust and Ark are.
Oh, okay. Well, it just means that if you log out of the game, people are still going to be playing it when you're gone.
So, that's one of the reasons why I'm interested in getting a dedicated server. Because if we can get a password-protected server, we won't have to worry about people coming in that we don't want to.
Well, the cool thing about that is there will be private servers as well, and I believe that's actually going to be at release, but don't confirm me on that or quote me or say that that's confirmed.
The rented servers,
as I already wrote in the recruitment posts in Scum Discord, I hope that one day we will be able to get our own server where we can freely, play friendly and roleplay as well. A lot more than you would probably be able to do on a public server where there's gonna be a shit ton of chaos.
Well, yeah, that's one of the reasons
that would be something that would be cool.
That's one of the reasons why I would personally prefer a password-protected server, so that we can do the role-playing a lot better without having to worry about
honestly, I'm not a huge role player. I will role play if people take it seriously, obviously. I more just enjoy the game and play the game. But I'm not saying I wouldn't role play because I would. But basically, I think I'm going to avoid doing private servers or playing single player or doing any dedicated servers until it's fleshed out. Because right now, as it stands, the main component that is the big game is the PvP people. Because the PvE is going to be there at the basic level, but it's not really going to be the biggest part of the game at the start of it.
Well, the thing I had in mind wasn't buying a server on day one, because the game, as said, probably won't be as stable. Stable. Plus, what would you fill the server with? We don't have trustworthy enough people. For that, it would have to be.
I've got another streaming group that I know that has 20-some people. That's at least half of them I know would be interested in playing this game.
Basically, what he's meaning is he wants it to be optimized and everything, and be able to have a trustworthy group of people that you can fill the server with that aren't going to KO us every second, etc.
Exactly. Yeah. Because just letting randoms in also isn't a solution, and having a half-empty server as well isn't.
Exactly.
Well, I wasn't thinking randoms. One of the things that this other group that I was talking about does
I'm not talking about your group. I mean literally random people. If we didn't put a password up, so if we were to get, I don't know, let's say 40, 45 people, I think that would be enough for a start. But then again, there's also the question of finances. Somebody's got to
finances, unfortunately, we can't really know that because they're not giving out any prices until the game comes out.
Well, if you take a look at similar games, it's not usually too cheap.
Not only that, I would have to say, with doing the financing, as you're saying, I mean, most people will want to go into a server like that, but most of them, again, aren't going to want to be able to pay for it, because they bought the game. And only really the truly dedicated are going to want to go into a server like that. And to find that amount of people who are going to be able to help out, even if it's not everybody, but just some people who will be able to help out to be able to rent that server and keep it going, that's going to be a difficult thing.
Well, that's why I see
why we can get all of our channels to take off. We could use the money from our channels to pay for the costs of those.
Yeah, I mean, more than likely.
Firstly, we would need to even get to that point. For instance, Chaos, now we only reached 50 followers today on Twitch.
Yeah, so, I'm just at the point of monetization now.
I'm literally at 46 on Twitch, so I mean, we're all around the same in terms of Twitch.
So it's
and I might be streaming on YouTube too. So I mean, once we figure out everything about, if somebody can help me figure out how to set up OBS.
I can help out tomorrow.
I won't be able to. Okay. How many on yours? How many on what?
Previous comment that's typed in.
Oh, what did they say?
Completely average was saying there's a ridiculous amount of people watching.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to keep it on the down low, trying to keep this professional.
Exactly. That's why I typed it in the
Right now, there's 25 people watching this, and I'm like, what?
Dude,
Oh, nice! I've got 9 on mine.
I'm pretty sure my YouTube analytics doesn't even allow for these high numbers. You know?
Hey, don't worry, guys. I'm just saying, not to brag, I beat all of you. I may not be streaming, but I beat every bloody rating where it counts.
Doesn't even get it going.
Max Lurie asks, what do you guys think about the base system in this game? Like, do you guys think all the buildings will get taken by people? And following that, a little further down in the chat there, the question was, sure, you can break into the buildings that people fortify, but what about the new players who won't have the equipment and knowledge to do so?
Again, I'll have to say, I'll re-explain this since we've already gone over this before. Basically, you're going to be able to either earn through events or buy through fame keys to go into most of the buildings in Scum. And I don't know if this consists of all buildings in Scum or just a certain percentage of them. Right now, honestly, I think it's going to be a certain percentage, given the fact that right now it's not going to be at release, and they're probably going to release it in steps over time. And then not only after that, you are going to be able to destroy their fortifications, their traps, etc. to get in and find their stuff that is most likely going to be in some basic form of a stash, assuming you don't store it in whatever stash or bank is in the safe havens. So, I don't know, I'm probably going to go like 60% once they release it at first.
One thing I've been curious about ever since I first heard about
this?
No, I heard something.
One thing I've been very curious about is the whole burying your loot thing. Have they had any? Yeah, they were saying that you can literally dig a hole and bury your loot.
Oh, burying it. Okay, burying it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hide your loot from other people that'll come scavenging your home.
I know, but are you going to be able to bury it in your house? Like, say you fortify your house.
Might be able to bury it just outside kind of thing.
But I mean, if you do that, say like you do that, now everybody else is going to do that. So you don't need to break into the house. Just go around digging holes around the place, trying to find their loot. Like, if I have a fortified place, I want my stuff to be in it.
But that's
behind
the thing.
Fortifications.
Somebody might think that you have all your stuff in your fortified house, but you try to deceive them by putting it outside of the big fortifications where nobody will look.
But now, like, everybody who's watching this, and us included, are going to have it in our mind to be like, okay, well, you know, we're searching around this person's house and inside their house. For me, most likely what I'll do, if I can do the burying, I might just build my fortifications and say...
Go on.
It cut?
No.
I'm like, no! Okay, so basically, what I'm gonna fortify my base, and assuming that...
Yeah, I just did.
No way! You guys are screwing with me.
No.
Peace among all people. But, hello? Is it working now?
Yeah.
I'm going to grab my stuff. And if it's fortified, is it doing it?
No, I'm just laughing by the way you're talking.
And if it's fortified enough at the base I'm at, I'll store it in there.
Like, it's cutting again.
If it's gonna take a while to be able to store stuff in there and break in, I'm gonna use that. So if it's gonna take a long time for people to break in, I'll store it in my base. But if not, then I'm gonna probably run to a specific place, a distance away from my place, but not too far away that I can't get to in a decent amount of time, and then bury it under a tree or under a rock or under the specific spot that I'll remember.
A landmark kind of thing, or a tree that's right on a shoreline or something like that.
Yeah, something at a distance away where I can get to, but remember where it is and not be too far away from my base.
And anything else we want to quickly mention to finish up?
I don't know. I mean, basically, the only thing I can do is really just advertise myself at the end as an ending game, like, hey guys, I release daily videos and I'll be streaming every day as well for Scum.
I think I think all of us went over that already. So
we can go over it again at the end.
Hang on.
It's a good idea to go over everything at the beginning and then go over all of our contact stuff at the end as well.
Yeah,
I think we should rather just keep it simple and advertise the SGG for now. Because
Okay.
that's the place where everybody can get the links from everybody, so makes it a lot simpler and easier.
Yeah.
I
So,
also I'm posting
speaking of which, my
religiously
pod-
in
Discord
the
link.
chat right now.
Yeah, it'd be nice if people stop by.
Indeed.
I know I'm not streaming or anything, but I tried. I promise you. Also, did anybody see the amount of viewers that I have? Broke down 100.
Oh, wow, what a guy.
GG.
Thank you. I ain't gonna lie, we've been in such a heated talk this whole entire time and talking from one topic to another that I'm actually kind of sweating.
Likewise.
Well, then again, we did get you laughing pretty heavy with the whole cutting out
Not
thing.
only that, I did run out of water a while ago.
I
It
nearly
wasn't
drank
enough.
2 liters of mineral water.
I remember
Jesus.
I remember when we started this, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna run out of beer, but what do you know?
There we go.
Let me guess, liquor stores just around the corner?
Liquor stores closed long before that over here, buddy.
Isn't
Oh,
it like
shit,
2 a.m.
man.
for him?
Honestly,
Okay, well, honestly,
in Europe, what time is it, you guys?
2 o'clock in the night.
Yeah.
2 p.m. for both
Crazy.
of you. Damn, both in the same
2
time zone.
a.m.
Oh yeah.
okay, here we go. I got an interesting fact I can end myself on. Unless we got a question coming up. I can
Yeah,
just mention real quick and
we
get
got
on that.
one that is leading very well into this. How long are you guys streaming this
Okay,
for?
then, I'll quickly say this. Airdrops are going to be a thing in this game.
Really? When
Yeah.
was that
Awesome.
confirmed?
One of the devs replied to it in one of their forums. Actually, if you go to one of my videos, you can actually see the link to it, and it'll actually go right to the forum.
I'm guessing it's not going to be at launch, though. It's probably going to be during the
No, it might be at launch, it might not. They just confirmed that it will be in the game.
EA. Okay.
All right.
I don't know when, though. And now the question.
Yeah, the question was, how long are you guys going to be streaming for?
Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to be
Dot,
ending
dot,
this
dot.
stream in a few minutes. And then after a little bit of a break, I'm pretty sure Completely Average Gaming, Chaotic Rom, and myself, Slave to the Games, will be coming back for another separate one. I mean, if that's still what we're doing, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm in for a smaller session afterwards.
Yeah, I'd be down with that too.
Okay, so I'll say maybe about a half hour after that. Like, we'll be back.
Yeah.
Well,
That
yeah,
long?
okay.
Yeah. And then we can just keep going until we're tired or
Yeah,
something.
because that gives us all a little bit of time for like a meal break or something.
Yeah, and then like I
Alright.
said, I still need to put that video up, so.
In any case, I wish you guys luck with the shorter stream, and I'll be signing off because I need to go to sleep.
Okay.
No problem.
You have a nice
good
night. It
night.
was nice seeing you.
Syntax.
Enjoy, folks, and it was a pleasure.
Remember, guys, don't forget to follow him as he leaves, or be able to check it out sometime. It was great actually being able to talk with him about this game.
Just hang on, the rest of you, for a couple of seconds. I'm just gonna type a link into the YouTube of
Hey,
things.
dude, if you've got access to my stream, you can just copy and paste my Discord thing. That
Yeah, I mean,
bought.
shout out to everyone. I don't know
Or here, I'll actually
about,
copy and paste it to the Discord, so you can just.
I don't
copy
know
and
too
paste
much
off of
about
there.
what you've done Completely Average Gaming or Chaotic Rob in terms of YouTube channels for Scum, but I myself currently have a day-to-day basis series coming out where I just keep on releasing as much verified information as I can. It's currently going to be on day 5 when I release 5 after this short break.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I don't have anything like that planned, but my title for this current stream is Scum Creators Discussion Round 1. So it opens that up to be able to do the exact same thing that you're doing.
Okay.
I kind of feel like JT was suffering. Animal and Scum came and finally put a bullet in it. The chat is really talking about Daisy die.
Honestly, I think Daisy died before Scum came along.
It was more the you know, it's been a downhill
The nail
slope.
in the coffin.
Yeah,
its
it was
time is
downhill
gone.
slope.
Its time
Now
is
we're there.
gone.
And then Hollywood and Co. Experience. Well, hologram coffee for that. Hell yeah, I've waited so long to see that, to see this. So I imagine that was to us coming back again afterwards. Ah, shoot, come on. How do I make a... I want to make a... can any one of you guys who are more proficient with all sorts of things than me get me a link for the Scum Discord? Not just ours.
Yeah,
Scum Discord. Okay.
One sec, I got you.
Got me covered.
It's gonna take me a second.
That's good. That's actually kind of annoying to get too.
Yeah.
Okay. Copy link location. Let me just.
You mind putting that in the Discord chat so that I can copy that onto there as well?
Yep, I can. Okay. Yep, this will work. Okay, so it's gonna be in the Discord now, so you guys can both take it and put it inside your Twitch or YouTube.
What? Is that for the Scum Discord? Oh, yeah, sure it is.
Yep, right. They click it, and it'll bring it right to them, and all they have to do is accept it, and it will open it up either in the browser or on their own app that they have. I tested it myself. It should work. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, no, I just tried putting it onto a browser page, and it worked.
Yeah, I was just...
also...
Flex, or
here's
Plex,
another thing for you guys.
Asked about the link, about 15 minutes ago, maybe. But I spent about 15 minutes, maybe, on finding it, and I couldn't.
You say Flex?
Flex. P-H-L-A-E-X.
The developer for Scum?
Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure that's a developer.
Can you plug Scum Discord in here?
It could be the same name, but it's definitely a developer. If it's P-H-L-E-X, you said?
Yeah, P-H-L-E-X.
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's one of the mods, or that's one of the devs.
Yeah, it's one of the mods, yeah. Okay, he's a mod. He's not a... It doesn't say dev on it, but he's definitely a mod in it. So
yeah,
moderator in it.
That's one of the mods.
Yeah.
What happened now?
And I also put down another one, which in the link, the second link is actually the master fact and info thread where I actually got most of my facts. So you can actually go through, skim through, and just look at... I would do is look at the developer replies as things that you can try and verify or see what future plans are.
What?
With that, if you guys wouldn't mind pulling up the Reddit link as well.
Did it cut out, or did you hear?
Me? No, I heard. I'm just saying,
okay.
If you guys wouldn't mind finding the Reddit link and put that on there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, no, because Kag said what, so I was confused.
Yeah, I didn't catch the drift.
I basically just said that the second one lets you go to the master fact and info thread, which is where I got most of the facts that I got for Scum, that you can actually just browse through and look up.
Yeah, that's the Steam community chat page.
Yep.
You guys were right. It is the same Flex or Plex as the Discord mod.
Boom, boom.
It's been confirmed.
Ah, booyah! How's it going, Flex?
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, it's great when stuff like that happens. I get so excited. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stay cool. I'm gonna remain calm.
That's why you looked at me and you're like, Flex stopped by, P-H-L-E-X, and I was like, wait a minute, you're talking about the developer, right, or the moderator?
I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go with the flow. I'm so bad at this though. I did the same thing when I streamed Rise of Industry for the first time. One of the community manager dropped by, and I was like, okay, I'm sit up straight, straighten my tie. Didn't have one on, but it sure looked cool. And then he came and everything was good and well. And then one of my favorite YouTubers came by a little after, a guy called Colonel Failure, and I was like, all right, marbles lost. I'm just gonna not even pretend anymore. All is good and well.
Okay. I know specifically for me right now, I don't have anything that I can briefly say that's not going to turn this into talk. So for now, that's all I'm going to offer, unless you guys have anything to end it with.
No, I think this is probably a good time to sign off.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for all watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Kag, it seems like you have something to say.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been watching. Basically what you just said, but you know, me saying it.
Just better, right?
Well, you know. If you haven't already, check out all our channels. I've linked all of them in the description below, except for my own, because, well, if you're watching me, then you'd probably already found my channel.
And also for me, since I had a problem with streaming and couldn't stream at all, don't forget to stop by SlaveToTheGames on YouTube or Twitch. And I'll gladly appreciate everybody who subscribes and listens to the facts and comments below.
Yeah, and you know, if you guys got any more questions, anything else you want answered, be sure to either drop by the Scum Discord or the Discord that we are in now. Or leave it in the comment section below, and we'll hopefully get them in a later live stream before the launch, right?
Yeah, I can definitely add to that and say comment on any of my videos, take it down, put it in a notepad so I can bring it up in the next video we probably do.
You might want to try to say that
tell
again.
Him he messed up again.
Okay, let's give it 5 seconds because it's going to do it again. Okay, so basically, as I was saying, is also comment below in any of my videos, and I'll take those questions that you have and put them in a notepad so that if we do this again, I'll be able to answer them, and we'll all be able to debate about the questions and the facts about the games coming out.
Oh yeah.
Etc.
Totally.
One last thing I want to add.
Yep.
This is the song that never.
Oh my god.
I want to add another thing. 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer.
Oh, I'm gonna top you one.
Yeah?
Everything is awesome!
Oh god. Okay, with that, I think that's a great time to end.
With the people doing the live stream apparently having lost everything between their ears. How about we take... What do you guys say? Half an hour break? Meet up again at 45?
Yeah, I'd say half an hour is about good.
Yeah, I'd say half hour should be fine.
Like 45?
Meet up on the hour is actually a great idea.
I don't know about 45. Since it's going to be probably about like 20 by the time we end this. I'd say, you know what? Let's say 50 or to the next hour. Top the hour.
All right, let's top the next hour.
The next hour is the best way to go, if you ask me. Because we can sync that easily with the three of us.
So we'll be back in 43 minutes from now.
We shall be back.
See you guys soon.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Awesome to have you guys here. Hope you guys stop by later too.
The same, but better.
Oh yeah. All right. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.
See you later.
Gotta grab out.
Cheerio.